welcome back everyone. It is day number 3 of Clash Royale League Asia, right here back to Group A. This time, yesterday was Group B. My name is G-Clef. With me, Paper Thin. It's going to be another exciting action. Round robin, 2 times within the group. They don't get to face any other teams in Group B, so only Group A, going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, it's really interesting this season that you're stuck in your own group basically all the way until the finals. So it's going to be really fascinating to see how this one plays out. Group A, once again, Group B was great yesterday. Some really interesting games. Definitely got to go back and watch Monong GP do his thing. And King of the Hill, that was pretty awesome. Group A was pretty crazy, though, on day number 1, G-Clef. It was just 2-0s all the way down.
Yep, and lots of 4-0s in game scores, too. So it might happen again, but we're seeing some weird things where really good players, Benzer's still really good, but we have new talent, and they are actually screwing over a lot of players from the last season because they're good. We have new talent, and they're actually making those 1v1s look a little too easy when they're actually beating like the strongest, one of the stronger players from the last season. We have new talents. They're beating everyone. So right now we are saying, okay, is this team actually strong or are they not strong? What are their weaknesses? Without the ban card, I think it's a little too early to find out everything. But certainly we can't really determine which team is going to be on top or at the bottom yet.
Yeah, exactly. You feel a certain way about these teams because we've seen them for so long in Clash Royale League Asia, and so you're feeling like, okay, well, you know, you've got teams like PONOS that's basically been about the same team for a couple years now, and you still got Expo Master hanging around. These guys that have been legends in Clash Royale League Asia that now are struggling.
Yes, even Expo Master did not seem back in his old shape of form where he seemed like best about a year ago. Yesterday still even playing Expo, the traditional classic Expo with the Tesla and the Archers, not really back to his shape yet. So we'll see if... Same for Mikamboya, did not do so well against Benzer in the beginning match. And he might be back on 1v1. We'll have to see what PONOS do today. Overview, it's about the same as only the highlights are going to be the real difference compared to the last season. Again, no ban card for 1v1 games, only single ban card for each team. For 2v2, which is usually a tornado, you see lots of graveyard being banned, some lava, some even just going in straight and banning the freeze from time to time.
Yeah, now we're seeing freeze getting banned. Occasionally giant skeleton as well is going to get banned out in 2v2. Outside of that, you're not going to see too much, just kind of trying to, you know, plan your ban ahead of time, and then so you can pretty much predict, you know, more or less what your opponent's going to ban and then build your decks around that. Here's the groups as they have shaked out so far. We've only got 2 days in the book, so, you know, every team's only had one game or one match to play.
Yeah, it's +1 or -1 depending on the match, but we have the first match. It's match 4 because they played 3 matches before as Group A. Kicks Chaos Theory, the winners from a few days ago, going against each other. That's a crazy matchup. Kicks, they got new talents, Pedro and I'm JP. I'm really excited to see maybe JP in that 1v1 lineup, and Chaos Theory, I'm pretty sure we all know who's going to come out for that 1v1.
There's no question about that. I mean, if Benzer doesn't be the 1v1 player for Chaos Theory,
unless he's sick or something. Unless he ate something crazy last night.
Or like it was like at a point last season where they were just pretty much in the playoffs in the top spot in their group, so they were just like, we'll just throw someone else in there for a day and give them a chance, you know. So, yeah. I feel like Benzer, and then you got Detonation, DragonX coming up there. Detonation having a big win on day 1, so that's really a good start for them. They were a team that struggled last season, so really nice to see them come out and have really a dominant victory.
Yeah, and DragonX did not really show a good showing, and also line on that 1v1. And match number 6, the final match for tonight, will be PONOS versus Talon. So lots of great matchups, again, for Group A. I mean, this group is stacked up with teams. We have Kicks, the 2 on the left. One from Venezuela, one from Spain. Ooh. Yeah, I heard both are really good. And
muy
the fact
bueno.
that, yeah, muy bueno. Si. Si, senor. That's Legend and Onion. Those 2. Can't just say those 2. These 2 players are just playing abnormal 2v2 that works in a way, which we have not seen at all last season, but they're making it work.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Mega Knight, really. But Mega Knight has really started to really skyrocket in popularity in the 2v2 meta. So will they keep doing that? Because the Chaos Theory was doing something similar. They also were throwing P.E.K.K.A. in there, whereas Legend and Onion mostly focus around the Mega Knight. But then JTV and trainer Dexter's, when they were playing together last week, were just like really, really heavy on the Mega Knight. And then they had one P.E.K.K.A in there as well, just in case their opponent brought something like a Royal Giant or a Golem.
Yes. So basically the same thing. Nothing too different for Chaos Theory. Carolus is back, of course, but what they had last time, trainer Dexter's and JTB for 2v2, Benzer Riddell for 1v1, and most likely it's going to stay the same for the matchup lineup. And for Kicks, I think we can expect different players to come out for 1v1. For 2v2, Legend Onion, unless Valentin just kicks in for that 2v2, I think it's going to work with 2 Vietnam players.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, Kix has a lot of options going forward in the future. You know, they've got Valentin sitting there, and he can fill in any role for this team. We saw him be very successful in 1v1s in terms of King of the Hill 1v1s last season. So this is the lineup we're getting. Onion versus Onion and Legend versus he's not facing him. I hope not. JTV and Dexter's. Okay, so Tornado's going to be available, so this one's going to be a little wild. And compared to what we're used to in 2v2s and Giant Skeleton and Graveyard getting banned.
Yes, both the thick one and the small one's getting banned. So I think we just move away from the Graveyard Giant Skeleton, which is super common. Even Chaos Theory, I believe they banned Graveyard last time. I think they're specifically just practicing the 2v2 without the Graveyard. I think that's one of the things. Graveyard 3 Giant Skeleton, this comes out everywhere in every region right now in the 2v2. Just ban it out, let's go off meta, try to find something else, a 2v2 that works, and we go for P.E.K.K.A Mega Knight. That's the usual one. We've seen PONOS going against them with the Golems, not really doing its job against the P.E.K.K.A.
Well, I think what teams are finding is that if your opponent plays a Lava Hound deck and not the Lava Loon makes this a little more difficult, but if it's just Lava Hound with like Miner and some other stuff, you don't need actually a ton of air defenses available. You just need to save a spell for when the Lava Hound breaks into the pups. Then you can just throw a Mega Minion or something onto that Lava Hound and your tower isn't taking critical damage. What you really need to be worried about is what's going on underneath it, and that's where like the Mega Knight and the P.E.K.K.A can come into play.
Yeah, in this case, with Tornado not being banned, Lava sort of goes out the window here. And it can still work, but even the Miner, it's really weak. It's going to activate the King Tower. Double that cannon from the King Tower makes all the pups be gone, even without a spell if that's activated. So maybe less of Lava. Maybe we focus on the ground heavy. I think that's the concern. Maybe we just go back to the standard double Mega Knight once again, and then test the waters. And then we go for something crazy like the Hog Riders and just Ram Riders. I think that's about it for now. Yeah,
because I guess a lot of the story then becomes what you put behind the Mega Knight and the P.E.K.K.As or whatever, whether that be like you're saying the Hog Rider, Ram Rider, those kind of things. You can't really do. It's a little more challenging. You got to be really careful with your placements of those units with Tornado available. That's why you can't, for example, do Battle Ram because those barbarians just get dragged right in.
Yes, they're quite heavy, but they can be quite silly too. Ready for that 2v2. Let's go into game number 1 between Kicks and Chaos Theory. Yeah,
I'm excited. This is going to be
no
good.
Graveyard. What are we thinking here? Okay, Miner in a safe place because of the Tornado here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go ahead and go for it. Our JTV and Trainer Dexter is completely showing us something different than what they did last week already. And then we've got the Miner the Giant Double Princes there, potentially for Kicks.
For only the Dark Prince having that charge going in, but the Lava is already here with that lightning onto the top right. They want to make sure the Giant actually connects a little more. That's a lot of damage already being done on the top right. Lava just breaking apart to the pups. Baby Dragon, you is not bad.
Yeah, really nice defense there by Kicks. Really, really well done. They're just going to let that Ice Wizard do a little bit of chip damage there. It doesn't really do anything significant. And so far, advantage Kicks here as we go through up on that top right-hand corner.
Yeah, and Kicks, they didn't even have to use the Tornado for that one. Offensive Lightning, it's going to chip 307, I believe, every single time. So that's why Chaos Theory had to change lane onto the right side so they can actually focus their attack. Comes the guards against the Fritz, a very nice one against the P.E.K.K.A too.
Yeah, and this time it's Kicks kind of throwing at Chaos Theory what they tried last week at the Ram Rider coming in there, but plenty of defense available so far, but the Prince locks onto the tower.
Yeah, right before the Dark Prince got there, I mean, the P.E.K.K.A got the shield off, a Prince just a little closer to the tower by the Brawler to the left there. 509 left only, and they can just bring it down with the spells too.
Yeah, Chaos Theory doesn't look like they're even going to bother defending this one. They're just going to give it up, but now the Rage spell being used here. Kicks trying to see if they can take advantage of this, go for the 3 crown.
Yeah, maybe bring it down to like 1,500-ish and then go for that real big 3 crown. That's a big option. There's that Tornado with the Fireball removing everything down, and the tower doesn't seem to go down right now, but that's in any kind of spell range, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much within anything that isn't Zapper. Well, now it's Zapper Snowball. Now we're in any spell range. We'll take that down, but it looks like Kicks very much keen on going for the 3 crown here.
Yeah, with that lava in the air, it's not going to help you defend. And Chaos Theory, they got to put everything down. There's that Lightning once again, down to 1,300. Already there's that Miner working on it all the way in the back. Ice Wizard, it's okay, but down to 1,100 now.
Yeah, now we've got a decent counter push coming here from Chaos Theory, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here, Clef. There is still quite a bit of elixir available here for Kicks to work with to defend this push.
Yeah, exactly. I think Chaos Theory, they are pushing it right now to win or lose. This is their moment. Lava is locked on, but the Inferno is getting zapped every single time by that E-Wiz, blocked by the number all the time.
Oh, but that bottom left-hand corner Princess Tower taking a fair amount of damage from that Dark Prince as well. Now can Kicks get something going on the right-hand side, because they are down in terms of Princess Tower.
Did Kicks spend a little too much for the King Tower? I mean, it's down to 1,000 on the bottom left. The Queen Tower with that lightning, everything deleted, and the Brawler's on it. They got it here. What a big comeback. And that's going to be game.
Wow. Chaos Theory, great job there. Those Lava Hounds in the pocket. And it seemed like there would be enough defense available there for Kicks, but with those lightnings and some other things, it really cleaned up a lot of what they want to do. They kind of turned the tables. What Kicks did earlier on, got a push going, got a big lightning in, got some early damage, and then Chaos Theory able to turn it around and do it themselves.
Yeah, Goblin Cage just taking out a lot of potential damage that could have went into the King Tower if we just do the lightning. Of course, it can hit the King Tower, but it's going to get the Cage and the Brawler, so that's 2 shots removed. If there's another unit next to it, that's going to be lightning too. So taking out some more potential damage from the spell, and they weren't really stuck there. I mean, they were trying to push with the P.E.K.K.A. and the small units, but only single target unit like the Musketeer, Mega Minion. So against all the slowing units and against when they have the guards to defend against them, it's pretty hard. And the King Tower, it seems like you can get it down, but it's a lot harder than the Queen Tower.
Yeah, this got really interesting here. That Inferno Dragon actually caused some big problems because it wiped out that Mega Minion pretty quick. And then all of a sudden you got all this damage coming in from the Dark Prince as well. You can't back him up far enough that he doesn't get that splash damage through the regular Prince there, so he's still wailing away on that tower. And you got a couple guards and a lightning. Once you got the shield down from that Dark Prince, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, great amount of focus. I understand from Kick's side, okay, we got like half HP down on the King Tower, and the Princess Tower isn't even damaged on the, basically not scratched, so might as well just push onto the right side. It's got to work over time, right?
You'd think, yeah.
Yes, I think they didn't really get like super greedy on that choice. It's just how the game actually flew, because they had the Giant, they had 1 lane push, but against the Lava it actually worked better in long run for Chaos Theory in game 1.
Really, I think a lot of that came down to that lightning at the end there for Chaos Theory. I think that might have been it might have caught Kicks a little off guard there, where they weren't maybe necessarily expecting that, but hard to say for sure. Just trading a little spell damage here early on as he cycles some cards to get ready, and now it's Dark Goblin coming out here.
The big change for Chaos Theory was actually double Dark Goblins even in their first match too. But even when they're banning Graveyard, I mean, Dark Goblin is usually brought in 2v2 against all those skeletons because they attack so fast. But it's making lots of changes, forcing the opponent to use the log all the time. Let's see how effectively they're going to use that Dark Goblin this time.
Yeah, we'll see. This time it looks like we've got more of maybe what we saw last week from Chaos Theory. The P.E.K.K.A. coming down here. Will there be a Mega Knight paired with it? Kicks with a P.E.K.K.A. of their own, as all these units are going to kind of just mash with each other on the bridge here and just battle it out. Nobody's really going to come out too far ahead, except for on the top left, there was some damage from that Musketeer.
Oh yeah, a little bit more than some damage. That was about 1,000 damage going right there. Ram Rider charging into the Inferno, and that lightning does take care, but the P.E.K.K.A. is also gone after that log damage.
Yeah, once again, an early advantage here for Kicks. Let's see if they can make it work this time. There is that Mega Knight from Kicks Will there be one as well from Chaos Theory? But look at that, Mega Knight gets real stuck up because of that Ram Rider.
Sometimes the Ram Rider snare actually helps the opponent to stack up a big wave of attack. So just in time, Dark Prince is dropped by Chaos Theory to defend the jump going into the tower.
It's going to get the jump damage, though, onto that top right. That's all it needed. The Baby Dragon just isn't going to DPS it enough.
Wow. And I thought they were going to drop something to... That was about like 500 damage straight into the tower. That's a lot of damage. Let's see, P.E.K.K.A is slowly marching all the way from the back line. They're already getting like 5 hits onto the tower, down to 611. Ram Rider push, they've got to make it work very soon, down to 50 seconds.
Yeah, this one's really got to work here for Chaos Theory, or else it's going to go to game number 3. The P.E.K.K.A and the Dark Prince make short work of that Ram Rider. Now, once again, we're all up on the bridge fighting each other there. The poisons are down here. Both teams doing some offensive damage, but it's looking like we're getting near critical damage for Chaos Theory's Princess Tower.
Because of that rage, it's powering up just a little bit more. Mega Knight trying to jump on all the targets, but it's doing some work and taking all the shots from the Princess Tower. But the Musketeer, Lumberjack, good defense. Kicks, certainly they are keeping the lead for now.
Yeah, really good job with that Dark Prince there. Getting everything stuck there with that snowball as well, preventing critical damage here. So it looks like Kix is going to be able to turn this around and take game number 2.
Yes, the early damage from the first starting hand few cards. Kix was able to do about 1,000 to the right and the left side. Was having snowballing from that moment on, and they had a lot of their miners connecting, at least like 200-300 at a time, plus poison, that's like 500. So over time, this is how you safely win a game. Always having P.E.K.K.A in defensive mode, having that rage whenever you need it. From the Lumberjack, I think they really kept in control well in this game.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's surprising how much damage that Mega Knight jump does. It's 440, I believe. And it's pretty crazy. I mean, it hurts when it lands. You can't let it go. And I thought you were exactly right. I was kind of wondering, there just must not have been a card available for Chaos Theory that really felt like a worthwhile defense of that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think yeah, if you're gonna use the Inferno Tower, it's too big. There's nothing else coming after it. Like, do you really spend like 3, 4, 5 elixirs to defend against one jump?
Right.
Maybe it's worth it, maybe not. I think that was a hard choice they had to make. They certainly had a lot of elixirs in their hand.
Are you gonna waste a Ram Rider or something like that? You could do that, but both of those are 5 elixir. And yeah, like, you make a great point. I don't know if it's worth it. And Benzer's taking a nap over there. Benzer's just like, I don't know, guys. I'm gonna play Mortar all day.
Yeah, whatever happens in 2v2, I do my thing in 1v1. I just do my thing, and I just keep on doing it.
I want to see Benzer just play a 2v2 someday, just so we can see it, just for fun.
Yeah, that might be cool.
Yeah.
That might be cool, but for now, we have all the players ready to go for that game 3. Yeah, without the Graveyard, without the Giant Skeleton, it's just a lot of P.E.K.K.As right now.
Yeah. I mean, you can try, and the Lava Hound did work for Chaos Theory, despite me saying that maybe it's not as strong. But you can, if you do it right, you can make just about anything work, right? That if you're, building consistent decks. So they did a good job with it. Will they go back to that? But so far, it's kind of looking like with that Dark Goblin here, more of the same. But we'll see.
Yeah, more of the same of what we just had for Chaos Theory. I think that's very likely what we're going to see. Maybe some miners connecting better this time for Chaos Theory. Can put them in the lead. They also had miner and the poison.
Well, there's that Goblin Cage. Once again, I think that's a really smart pickup. It makes it a lot harder to utilize the spells effectively to deal with these buildings. Because then now the Ram Rider is going in. The lightnings are coming through, allowing it to come through and get a hit in. 2 hits.
The snare actually brought down the Mega Minion, basically allowed so many more hits onto the tower. P.E.K.K.A's not going to get a swing, but still there was a lot more elixirs from Chaos Theory used defensively.
Oh boy, yeah, they have to utilize a tornado here as well, but I think it still might get the charge damage in. Oh my goodness.
Even after the tornado to pull so many units away, the bridge spam and the charge damage is certainly working. Double that Ram Rider for kicks and the P.E.K.K.A when that's charging in. It's going to be tough. Chaos Theory, they gotta wait for the perfect time, but when there's 2, when do you use the tornado?
You gotta be careful with those Goblin Cages. You can't just cycle them kind of willy-nilly here, because then they can wait for it to go down and then, you know, utilize the Ram Rider in a way that catches you a little more off guard, unless you've got another kind of defensive building here. If you've got a Inferno Tower sitting in the back.
Yeah, smart. Chaos Theory sending the Miner so that Rage is not being used with the Lumberjack. Used to defend against the Miner. So attacking both ways. Let's see which lane they actually choose to go for. 100% P.E.K.K.A marching towards the right now, though.
Yeah, two Mega Minions coming through here, but they're going to let the Mega Knight soak up that damage here. The E-Wiz slowing it all up as well. Now this time the Goblin Cage is available here on the top hand right, so you're going to be able to at least get that Ram Rider, but with the Mega Knight there as well, he's going to distract that Goblin Brawler.
Yeah, and a double jump, Brawler's down. The Snowball does push it away. One scratch on the tower. The Miner on the back keeps on doing the damage there. The Snowball delaying it even further. So the Miner, couple more 100 damage down to 390.
Yeah, this is getting pretty. I mean, Lightning Poison will definitely do it. Any little more extra damage, and Lightning Snowball, or I think we're really close to. I think it is Lightning Log range.
Kicks, they still have more than 2,000. But is this rocket going to change everything? Is this just going to be in time? Kicks is pretty low on elixirs right now. What's happening? Is it going to be knotted up? And Chaos Theory comes back from, what was it, 2,400 something on that tower?
No way!
Kicks, they decided to not use the spell and then just defend first with the Mega Knight and all the troops.
Wow!
And they can't bring a tower down with 390-ish HP left.
That is magical. That is crazy. Chaos Theory just out of nowhere all of a sudden had just a huge rush coming over that bridge. I think the P.E.K.K.As there were a big part of it, taking down that Mega Knight pretty quickly. And then all of a sudden, there's no tank available for Kicks, and they're low on elixir because they blew a lot throwing down the Mega Knight.
Yeah, it was certainly a cycle where they had the spell in their hand by the time all the troops were crossing the bridge. The Baby Dragon, the P.E.K.K.A and Mega Knight all together from Chaos Theory's side. Maybe they were sort of scared that the lightning would just hit the units and not the tower.
Let's watch this.
For a second?
I think we're going to get to see this again.
Yeah, this is game one.
Yeah, game number one. This is crazy. 2 games here that Chaos Theory won. Both were basically last-minute victories for all intents and purposes. So this was really fascinating by them.
Yes, and the second game, a big comeback for Kicks. They have been chipping so much more compared to what Chaos was able to do. Good luck to take care of that Dark Goblin all the time. They've showed that that's going to be a big harass. It's just annoying to be having that small Dark Goblin just chipping damage every single time.
Right. All right, let's see exactly.
This is the moment.
This is how this all played out. All right, you got a P.E.K.K.A here. Yeah. Okay, the P.E.K.K.A just goes right to town on that Mega Knight there. Look at that. Now you've got a relatively healthy P.E.K.K.A along with a very well-placed rocket that hits whatever else was in front of that Princess Tower. I couldn't quite see.
Yeah, he was right next to it, so he couldn't really defend.
And there was something else that hit as well. They dropped something in front of it. I barely saw it for a split second there, but it was so covered up by other units, I actually am not 100% sure what it was. Yeah. But it got hit by that rocket.
For sure, they had a lot of elixirs to use that lightning plus any other spell. I think lightning plus log was going to be really close or off by maybe a single digit or
log
something.
Log is 84, lightning is 307, so that's enough because it was
that's
at
more than enough. Yeah. Yes, a questionable choice at the end, but it is Chaos Theory took that 2v2 really hard. I mean, when you're down to the spells, just use it. I think that's the drill. If you miss it, too bad. But it's better than not using it and losing the game, you know?
Yeah, I think you got to at least try there. I mean, especially with Lightning and Log, those are both pretty quick spells. With Poison, of course, it's much slower, but you got to at least go for it, I guess. Maybe it just wasn't quite in cycle or something, or they just didn't quite process it quick enough to actually, you know, come through with the correct answer there.
Yes, we're up in 1v1. Pedro 15 is up for Kicks, and Benzer is back for Chaos Theory. He's up against a new player who's not actually new from the CRL West. If you're a Western fan, you'd be saying, why is Pedro playing in Asia? Yes, he's in Kicks now, and he's going to be here for the entire season.
Yeah, I mean,
at least.
This is 2 of the best players in the world going at it here. This is really exciting. If you're out there watching, retweet this one because this is going to be darn good, I feel like.
Oh.
Woo! I'm ready.
I'm ready for some motorcycles. What's Pedro gonna bring here? Oh, we'll get that answer very soon. We're ready to kick in, jump into this set number 2, 1v1. Pedro 15 for kicks. Benzer Riddell for Chaos Theory. Let's get in.
You know, Pedro didn't play anything too off meta. On Thursday, it was just the Graveyard, you know, typical Dark Prince Poison deck, and then also Goblin Giant Sparky. So pretty well within himself, but played both extremely effectively.
Yeah, for Benzer, back-to-back Motor Miner.
Exact same deck.
Yes. Against Mikamboya, and it was 2-0.
Yeah.
For now, just log. We saw a lot more expos being played yesterday, but so far it was none from Thursday of Group A. So maybe tonight will be the night where we see a lot more expo in cycle.
Very well could be. Looks like Benzer might be thinking about something a little more like Mega Knight or P.E.K.K.A style this time around, wanting to give his opponent a little something different to look at. Now, this is fascinating.
An Earthquake early on. And to bring it down, everything. Earthquake has been a spell that's been used so many times. And then the B-Ramps, the cycles coming down for Benzer. A good push with the log and the Prince to take care of all the Barbarians. So nothing really done other than the Earthquake and the log damage on top.
Yeah, absolutely here. Benzer is gonna... there we go. I was gonna say, you gotta do something there? Okay, you got the zap. Something there. I think the only other time I really see Earthquake, at least recently, was with Golem-type decks.
Yeah, a few Golems actually put in. Yeah, put in Earthquake now because of all the expos. Not just Expo and a lot of Furnace just still being out there with some RG, but more for Expo decks because it just counters the P.E.K.K.A decks so many times.
Right, exactly.
It's not the only one. The most common, of course, is the Hog
Rider.
Yeah.
Right. But also the second most common.
And also with the Ram Riders being shown so many times from China along with Lumberjack, it can also be a big push that Pedro might be thinking later on.
Gotcha. All right, well, I'm really excited to see what Pedro's got in store for us. We're trying that B-Ram Minions push here up on the left here by Benzer. That bridge spam works. It does get the charge damage.
Yes, it was pushed into the tower, so it didn't really get stopped perfectly. So that's going to be some damage, but not too bad for Pedro. It's still now into double elixir time. This is where the real fight actually starts. Bandit always trying to charge into the tower, has to drop that Dark Prince every single time.
Really interesting P.E.K.K.A placement here by both players. So this is going to kind of do that thing where they meet up at the bridge, trade some blows here. Although it looks like with a little bit of delay, I don't think Pedro's P.E.K.K.A is going to get into Princess Tower reach there.
Benzer just forcing out a few more from just using a smart Bandit play. B-Ram doesn't get the connection damage, but the Dark Prince just in time. Barbarians getting few connections on the bottom. But that's about it, and the Ram Rider time.
Yeah, here we go. Ram Rider on the right, trying to use Benzer's own medicine against him. All he has is the Bandit available here. So a decent amount of damage coming through. Some minions in here as well. So this top right, Princess Tower taking quite significant damage.
Pedro really wants to put in all the damage possible, even using that EQ. But minions, of course, in the air, doesn't take any damage from the EQ, only the tower. Baby Dragon with the log is going to take care of that B-Ram. So good amount of damage traded for all towers right now. I guess we're focusing onto the right lane now.
Yeah, we're moving sides now. Everybody wants to go onto the new hotness that is the right-hand side here. Got the P.E.K.K.As a little bit more aggressive with the P.E.K.K.A placement is Pedro here. I want to see how this one pays off for him. Recently, P.E.K.K.A's been more of a defensive-minded unit.
Slowing them down and chipping some more Earthquake damage along with that poison. Great defense by Benzer. He's onto his own push with the Battle Ram. And what else Pedro's got is going to be Ewis, having mini stuns every single time.
Yeah, it's going to buy a little time, but each player with pretty good defense on these opposing P.E.K.K.A pushes, so really only a little bit of damage done from that Earthquake in these trades. Now he's got to go back into that Bandit, trying to get it in there. We will have the Earthquake come down here from Pedro as well.
And we're chipping down every single time. Pedro's trying to make Earthquake work, at least by putting in some tower damage to the unit too, but there's no building on it, so just trying to cycle out and attack onto both sides this time. Again, log, Baby Dragon on the left seems to work okay, but not against the Dark Prince, who has to drop another one here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Pedro's found good defense for the Battle Ram. Now we got to see what adjustment Benzer can make here, because this Ram Rider is going to be coming in potentially, but you've got that P.E.K.K.A available to chew through it quite well, the zap as well, to ensure that there's no extra damage.
Just took some more damage from the minions too. Yes. or else it didn't really have to be. It was going to be more than a zap to take care of it. So both players really understanding the cycle of each other. This is intense of what we have. We're down to the final minute already.
I was just looking at the clock. I'm like, man, this game's going long. Great play from two great players here. Really trying to find ways to crack each other's defenses. They're pretty similar decks. Now that's good minion placement because that baby dragon is locked on other stuff. A good snowball to back him off.
That's exactly the place Pedro was looking for. Might as well just put in some more offensive damage, and Earthquake will be used right after to chip a little bit more, and the 1-floor connection will be game over here. 50. And that's in log, snowball, EQ. Pedro's gonna take Benzer down game 1.
Really interesting stuff there from Pedro. Bringing that Earthquake, I think expecting potentially something more like a Mortar or an Expo from Benzer, of course, but still able to get it done despite Benzer going with something a little off from his usual playstyle.
Yes, and a great adjustment to continue on your compliment on Pedro. Just in case the Mortar comes out from Benzer, I think it is the card that you really want to go for. Benzer, just reading the cycle, was always using a minion instead of all the ground units. Only a P.E.K.K.A. when there's going to be an Earthquake, so it doesn't really have a big effect in terms of HP lost. But Pedro was always keeping the Earthquake damage near the tower only when he's pushing, and the Ramrunner is not really connecting the charge, but at least few connects. And the Baby Dragon shooting on that was big. Snowball plus the Baby Dragon leading all the minions all the time. The Snare helping out so much. I mean, Benzer played a really great 1v1, but overall more chip damage just came in over time.
Well, and I think a big problem that Benzer ran into was no matter what kind of push you tried with the Battle Ram, whether it be Battle Ram Dark Prince or Battle Ram minions, there's an effective counter there for Pedro that's really worth it. Like for Battle Ram Dark Prince, you just need Baby Dragon, Log, and then you wait for your Dark Prince.
Yes.
All of a sudden, you wipe all that out, and you basically take no damage to your Dark Prince and your Baby Dragon, and then you've got a really healthy push coming.
And if Pedro was ready on, had nothing on the other side to set up an attack onto the other side, he was ready with an Ewiz too.
Yes.
So lots of great counter cards happening over and over again. It was pretty cool to see they are changing the cycle in lots of ways, but they're always catching up with the same cards.
They're both just too good.
That's really hard to do in the middle of the game. That was a long one. Pedro gets it, brings it down just under 6 minutes. Now, Chaos Theory, they're on a timeout. Well, you know what happened in game 1. Do you just go back to your comfort zone? Mortar time?
Yeah.
But against an EQ? Potential EQ, which is really high percentage now.
If you're afraid to go into the Mortar because you feel like Pedro has a pretty good read on how to play against it, we already saw the Earthquake come in as kind of an unusual spell there for that particular deck. You don't usually see it paired that way, and of course, you know, you and I both, I think, realize that that is just a counter Benzer spell there. So you could try something like Sparky Goblin Giant. Benzer's been quite good with that in the past. He showed it, he played it well here, and he also played well with it in WCG. So maybe he's thinking something like that, but Pedro also likes to play Sparky Goblin Giant, so... Yeah,
it's still a really strong one with the Goblin Cage, and even stronger, I think, with the Cage. So Pedro leading game, he's got to bring it back to go to King of the Hill, because Chaos Theory still has that set point. We go into game 2, let's see if Benzer is able to swing this one back.
Benzer with a nice little well-played there, showing some respect to Pedro, who's come in here, played very well, has not dropped a game yet.
Yeah, not a game yet. 3-0 on his score sheet so far, but he's up against... This is like godlike players fighting each other. I mean, there's so much happening on the board, I can't even tell you guys what's happening.
Ooh, Lava Hound here from Benzer. So, a bridge spam P.E.K.K.A. right away. What does Benzer have for this? The Ewiz behind it as well. Unless he's got something crazy here, this is going to be a, okay, we do have the Gob Cage. So this will buy a little bit of time, but not enough.
Yeah, but actually that was really good with the snowball, getting all the guards down. So the P.E.K.K.A. connects one. That's a tower down, ladies and gentlemen, and the lava barely started scratching on the bottom left. He wants to keep on going for the King Tower.
Yeah, Pedro's just going to try to end this here. I think there's just enough defense available for Benzer to prevent critical damage, but it's going to be significant regardless.
I'm sure Pedro's ready with another spell. There's that Baby Dragon to get a lot of pups being damaged. Miner does come, but a lot of pups are already removed, and the mind games are real. I mean,
Great.
look at the number on the King Tower, 1394.
That's crazy low. That's crazy bad. Great Dark Prince placement as well there by Pedro, knowing full well Benzer's going to try to go for the back because most likely Pedro doesn't have a tornado at this point. And really, really, really well done.
Yeah, and then if you bring lava, the moment you put down the lava, your King Tower's in danger zone.
Yes.
There's that Rem Rider with a snowball that's going to push out a lot of those units. Their air units, guards. So it might be game over very soon the moment Benzer puts down that lava.
Yeah, he really can't afford to, even in 2x Elixir. It's going to be very, very difficult. And he's going to be able to defend this.
Good
I
read.
don't know if he just has to use the miner defensively.
No, it's connected to the King Tower.
No.
That's GG with the Earthquake, finishing up with the spell damage. Benzer kneels down tonight against Pedro.
Wow.
2-0.
Wowzers, Pedro. Boy, really
How many
good.
times did we actually have an 0-2 for Benzer? Like once, when we actually had Ben cards.
Let me look.
It was
Hold on.
most of the time 1-2 if he
Last season, he never lost 2-0.
He never lost 2-0.
He never lost 2-0 in a 1v1 set. Never.
This is his first time in this
Never.
in 2019. And Pedro just taking him down like he read everything. Also was ready with that EQ.
It's crazy.
I think we hit another level of Clash in the season, and in terms of competitive, without the ban cards, you can still snipe on a player, just understanding, doing your studies, what kind of cards player likes to play. I mean, even with that EQ not really getting too much value in game number 1, he made it work.
And I feel like Benzer went way outside of his comfort zone with that Lava Hound deck. I know we've seen him play it before, but dropping that Lava Hound after going against a P.E.K.K.A deck the previous game, and kind of we see this quite often in competitive Clash Royale where the same player will just run the same deck 2 times in a row and be like, hey, you gotta beat me with this same one. And then all of a sudden he's got no answers for this E-Wiz P.E.K.K.A push.
This is the thing. Benzer was ready with the guards against the P.E.K.K.A. You expect the guards to delay so much. You also had the cage. But when Pedro starts with a hand like that, you can't really... it's a hard one to defend. I mean, the snowball's going to take care of the skeletons, maybe push or do the damage onto the cage. It's super hard. He was ready for the guards to come down and log instantly from Pedro.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro is very, very prepared there, and I think, honestly, Benzer needs a little more patience in that situation. You can't, when you're playing Lava Hound, unless you're really, really sure what your opponent is doing, you can't drop that first.
Favorite did.
Yeah.
Look on the left side of the screen.
My God. That's scary.
IMJP, legend, Pedro 15.
That's crazy good.
How do you get through these 3 players? I mean, Chaos Theory, JTB, certainly a great player. Carolus, not going to be on the easy fight for him for sure. Benzer just went down 0-3.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, this is one of the scariest King of the Hill lineups in the world.
Yes, you were talking about this because last time it just finished. They finished the match with a 2-0.
Right.
If they go to King of the Hill, it's going to be scary. But just seeing this lineup right now, if I ever get sleepy, I'll just print this one out and then read what's on the paper. And I'm going to wake up.
It's so good. It's just hard to imagine that. I mean, JTV is very, very good. Carolus hasn't been playing in a while, so we're going to maybe get to see him unless JTV just 3-0s. Possible. We see it from time to time where these players just dig deep, find something special, and really shock us, you know, with a 3-0, maybe from a player who's a 2v2 specialist. We see this from time to time. But man, oh man, we get to see this guy for the first time this season.
8,000. 118. I'm pretty sure he made it like that.
Pretty soon, on purpose, pretty soon we're going to get players hitting 9,000 and then we can start making Dragon Ball Z memes.
Over. How much trophy you get? Over 9,000. No, maybe soon, but the season resets before that usually happens, so too bad. But still, JTB's up against a very tough opponent. Still, we do not know how. MJP did not show any games yet. He's up now against JTB. JTB, I think he had some really good moments, also some great streaks in King of the Hill last season. Maybe he can continue that. He was, of course, certainly playing a lot of 2v2s. It's a different meta, different season. I think the meta change is really making it hard for the 1v1 players who was good last season to be good with the new meta and different meta here.
Yeah, exactly. It is pretty different. I mean, especially with the addition of Goblin Cage. So that makes things a lot more wild because really Tombstone is basically fallen out of favor. So how you counter that Goblin Cage is a big deal. And JTV, we'll see exactly what he's got. First game of King of the Hill here. IMJP taking on JTV. And just a real quick, JTV only played one King of the Hill last season and he lost to Shake. OE. Excuse me.
Dark Prince? Maybe we're just going back to the old form. And Rascals, what are they doing here?
Could be a lot of different things with Rascals. I mean, a lot of times we see it paired with Mortared, but there's a few other decks these days. There's a Graveyard variant that has
even an Expo deck with the Rascals from time to time. It's just going to be Miner right now, chipping some damage Musketeer here with the Brawler to take care of that. But still about 300 done. Bandit stopped by the gang and then the B-Ram. JTV's on a rush right now, left and right.
Yeah, this is kind of starting to smell like Mortar Miner here from IMJP. See exactly what it is at the end of it. There's a few other things. You could throw a balloon in here as well. And that's, you know, you could kind of fit it into that archetype.
Oh, you can fit in anything.
Well, yeah.
You can fit in healing spell.
I've seen RG with this kind of crap. Okay. We can do like, we're just going to like name every card. We're
yes.
just like it is Mortar.
Yeah, of course connecting to the cage. And the minion horde just going to be going all the way in the backs, making sure the fireball was not so perfect because of the brawler.
Yikes. That's not great there, G-Clef. Gotta get all those minions there.
Yeah, he was expecting that miner to do a lot less damage. And taking a perfect horde out with the fireball, make sure he gets that one elixir positive trade value for JTB. Didn't happen because of the Brawler this time. I mean, Brawler moves so fast, we see from time to time even pro players missing a spell because of him.
Yeah, he's really, really, really quick. One of the fastest. I think he's at the same speed as the Lumberjack, if I'm not mistaken, so becomes really, really difficult to hit. But we'll see what JP can do here. He's got a pretty significant lead. Can he maintain it, or can JTV find a way with this kind of faster cycling Battle Ram deck to get through?
Going aggressive with that offensive position onto the left. After the cage, it will be going to the tower unless something else is put down. Battle Ram slowly marching towards that right tower. It's being answered by the Horde. Not bad.
Yeah, not too bad this time around. A little bit of damage coming in from those Barbarians. Rascals coming through. Good fireball, cleaning up the rest of that. Now we're going to try and get that Miner with the Spear Goblins coming in.
Miner connects. And also the Spear Goblin having one more shot that's going to help JP chip down. Overall, all the charges are being canceled all the time. There's that dash finally connecting on the bottom left, but still 1100 to go.
Good fireball there by MJP. Now you still get the damage from the Dark Prince, but you're still pretty far ahead. Cleaned up a lot of other units going up there. We're trying to get that log through, chipping a little bit more. Good Goblin Cage placement.
293 gets the Miner to 0 damage onto JTB. If he predicts like 2 more perfectly, may think he has a chance, but it's going to be tough. There's so many positions that where you just cannot defend it. Oh, I think that's enough damage for a fireball right now.
Definitely with the log as well, and it's going to be IMJP winning his first game here at Clash Royale League Asia, taking down JTV. A close one in the end, though.
Yeah, the mortar was really used to break the cage and to soak the damage coming from the other side. It was mostly just the Miner and few minions, few Spear Goblins basically just chipping away. That's how you just cycled through with so many small units. JTV did not have against this kind of deck, if you have a log, it's so much easier to delete all the goblins.
Yep.
But if you just have a snowball, which is also okay against the minion horde, but which two elixir spell do you bring? That's going to be the tough one, and you did not have the log this time, making it just a little harder to clean up everything.
Yeah, it's definitely changing just ever so slightly how things are shaping up in this new meta because of the significant nerf to the Barbarian Barrel. Now the log back in favor because it kills everything that it needs to. It kills the Dark Goblin, it kills the Princess, it kills the Rascal Girls. You know, now Barbarian Barrel doesn't do that.
Yeah, and it gets to the tower and actually does the damage. every single time if you just spam it onto the bridge, that's the thing. And why log is being used so many times for all these kind of quick cycle links. And even if JTV got that quick dash and the Dark Prince charging onto the tower, that was just not enough. Seems like Battle Ram right now, it's really weak because of how many logs are there.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think right now, Ram Rider might be just a slightly better option here, as we've seen it work very, very well, especially for Pedro when he brought it out against Benzer.
Yeah, here comes Carolus from Chaos Theory side. No games yet. I think we're about to see what he's going to bring. Lots of Southeast Asian players just bringing lots of Battle Ram. That's exactly what we saw yesterday too. And seems to be a really good trend even without the P.E.K.K.A. just keeping all the cycles left and right. It's pretty hard to go against it. If you just have one mistake, you're going to be out on the left or right.
Yeah, exactly. It was so strong last season in the meta across the entire world. I mean, every single region you'd see it all the time. But now it's starting to fall back a little bit, and I think you made a good point with the log coming back into meta, as well as the Goblin Cage, because the Goblin Cage really puts you in some interesting predicaments, because you can't use that poison quite as effectively against it, and also lightning's not very good against it, and all of a sudden a lot of these spells that used to be pretty strong are kind of weird if they have Goblin Cage.
Yes, and the log stops all the charges and blocks everything, slows everything down, does damage to the tower, so I think it's the perfect spell. Snowball also really good. I mean, at the end, like against all the air units, it knocks it back, and except for the lava, of course. That's a little too heavy to push it back.
But like you ramp it up and like bounce off the bridge or something.
No, that's going to be too OP if you can actually knock back the lava hound. Come on, that thing's a little too heavy with that many pups in it.
Yeah, no, the lava hound's too heavy. You can't knock it, but it'd be hilarious. It's like when the Ewoks are fighting the stormtroopers at Endor, and they're like rolling logs at him and stuff, and you're like, come on, man, like really? This doesn't work.
It doesn't really work. Yeah, timeout has been called from Kicks, actually. Maybe JP just needed some more time because he just got the win and he just called for a timeout. Is this what they're actually looking for? JP having a 3-0 sweep? Possibly.
Yeah, maybe they just wanted to confirm what they thought Carolus might be doing, just kind of talk about what they've seen on his, account. And even though none of these players really use their regular accounts, we'll find out exactly what they're going to bring against each other here for game number 2. But a lot of these players have, hidden accounts that they practice on. But on their main accounts, you can at least see what they're laddering with and what they're comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly. They have some of the players have 3-4 accounts, like one for just for the ladder, just for Grand Challenge, so you can just level up separate cards, so you can practice different decks by doing that. Yeah, BRAM all the way, and Barbarians against all the barbs here, and the Magic Archer from JP slowly going to chip all the barbs.
Yeah, you can see JP's kind of nodding his head. He's not too worried about the barbs as of yet. Magic Archer typically getting paired with P.E.K.K.A. these days. We'll see if that's what JP wants to put behind it. There's a few other Magic Archer variants coming out. He's got his place back in the sun now.
And Flying Machine from Carolus. Maybe he's thinking about a few more. And Dark Prince just connected, and well, Bandit is supposed to charge onto it and then just remove the charge damage.
Right. Didn't quite work there. I think there was a bit of a misplacement by Carolus with it there, and now we've got a P.E.K.K.A. coming over the bridge with so far just there's the Goblin Cage. I was just about to say, probably Goblin Cage coming up here, Poison coming down here as well. That P.E.K.K.A. one hit and a little extra damage takes care of that Goblin Brawler.
Yeah, this time it's really good because you get the Musketeer also with that Cage and the Brawler together.
Yeah.
So it's all worth it this time. There's the Hoggies, exactly what you see with the Flying Machine so many times. Dark Prince ready with that defense, not too bad. What happened on top left though?
Oh boy.
Just Bandit, and more than that, Carolus just had enough elixirs to drop that Bandit in time, zap to reset, and for the Barbarians to do a lot more damage, down to 88.
He's just gonna let that Flying Machine get his couple hits in as well, because he knows full well with the poison there, he's definitely got that top left-hand Princess Tower in death range, and if he feels pretty confident on just playing defense on the right-hand side, not too big of a deal.
Couldn't really stop all the charges coming up from JP's side. and the dash from Bandit this time. The Brawler is going to stop it. The Magic Archer still survives. Maybe that's the one he wants to take care of. Flying Machine does come to take care of the Magic Archer just enough. And the Hoggies are coming down on the bottom left, but it was a perfect tower before.
Great battle ram placement to get the dash from the Bandit off of the Dark Prince there. This is going to be a very dead P.E.K.K.A on the right, but there is the charge damage that will take out top left-hand Princess Tower for Careless. And this is looking pretty good for JP.
2. And so far, the Hogs are running for that tower. The E-Wiz having the zap, only 6 seconds to go, having all the spells to do extra damage, but still, it's not going to be in time, and the Hogs are also pretty low. IMJP takes 2 games off of Chaos Theory. This might be a nightmare for Chaos Theory's roster right now in the bench.
Here's what's crazy, G-Clef. If IMJP can run the table here and defeat Benzer, then between him and Pedro, they will not have dropped a game in their debut in Clash Royale League Asia. That is absolutely astonishing.
So the reason why no one wanted to pick Kicks to be in their group, I think we know why.
Yep.
We knew why before, but we know we have more reasons to say, more excuses to make again. I mean, this is so good. I mean, JP's really making crystal plays. He's, the tip in the game, using Elixir efficiently is a good way of winning. Yes, that's a good tip. Yes, that's a very good tip.
It's a pretty good tip. Yeah, that's kind of what you want to do in Clash Royale.
Yes, using Elixir efficiently
Crazy.
is the key to winning. Yes.
Very much is. All right, Benzer, if anyone can do it, it's this guy. If anyone can turn it around, run the table for Chaos Theory, you better believe it's this man here. He is a beast. Will he just go right back into the mortar? Well, or has he got something else in store for us again?
He's got a ton. I mean, from the previous season, because of all the ban cards, he was forced to play so many different decks. And he still came up with a win, with a set win on the 1v1 so many times. He has to be thinking about something else. Okay, Lava Miner did not really work. A cycle with the B-Ram didn't really work against Pedro either, so maybe just going back to quick cycles. I mean, we've seen so many Hog EQ.
Yeah,
with
the
Valkyrie, without the Valkyrie, even with really, really cheap, like 2.4, 2.5, 2.9s. That's exactly what we're thinking about, coming out from Benzer. I think he's gonna go back to his style. That's what he's good at.
Yeah, that's what I would expect out of him. I mean, he's the master of the cycle decks, so if he can find, he find ways to win games where even opponents have picked a deck that directly counters his. So I'm excited to see what he's got here against IMJP.
Oh yes, and JP's really close to that number 3 on his own. Let's see if that's possible against Benzer this time.
Well played comes out from Benzer, and JP's liking the Kissy Goblin.
Deck choice.
I know.
What is it going to be?
I know. I mean, do you think IMJP here just to try and be like, all right, Benzer, you like to play Mortar? Well, I play Mortar too.
that could totally happen. There's a P.E.K.K.A. For now. Benzer's certainly not happy about that.
No,
P.E.K.K.A.
he is not.
Maybe he brought his Mega Knight. I think that.
Oh, no, he brought Sparky. This is fine.
Which is okay.
Unless, if he has the regular giant version, it's a little not as, happy with it, but it's still not that bad.
Yeah, as long as you can really keep that P.E.K.K.A. away from the towers.
It's Goblin Giant, so this isn't the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly how you predicted, Favorite. But let's see E-Wiz stopping that Sparky right now, but the Mega Minion takes care of that. The bottom left.
Maybe that was a happy oh my god from Benzer, haha!
Wow. JP just had the Ram Rider going to the right side, so not enough Elixir to defend perfectly on the left. E-Wiz gone. Sparky does not get another shot fired.
That's okay.
Yes, and this is where you emote good game, right?
Well, maybe not. You never know. I mean, JP is a very, very, very good player, and Benzer's just going to kind of let that Dark Prince do a little extra damage, but It's quite a bit left, only 1251 on that King Tower, so it is a little harder to start pushing on that left-hand side for Benzer now.
Yes.
Because he has the Ewiz and the P.E.K.K.A available to really counter the two big things that are going to be coming. So it is a little weird because most likely Benzer's going to have a tough time getting the 3 crown.
Yeah, good drag, but the cage was right in the middle. Has the Ewiz. I'm pretty sure he has a lightning too. That's what he goes for all the time. But for now, good defense. Not too much damage on it. Cage dropped against the rider. Will it get the connection? Not really.
Yep, not quite there. And then you've got the Brawler left. Now we're trying to get something going on that left-hand side, but good defense by JP with that Dark Prince. I think we're going to get 1 zap out of the Ewiz, yes. So a little bit extra damage done there, but pretty good defense, and Benzer is going to give it a go.
Yeah, setting up a Sparky already onto the left, really delaying everything, so making JP just impossible to attack onto the left. So this was basically an answer already. Those snowballs, the rider. Can he bring the tower down instantly?
Yes. And this is where it gets tough because you have the Ewiz and the P.E.K.K.A available. That Goblin Giant does get through, locks on to the King Tower. Pretty significant damage, but the Sparky Splash misses.
And the splash from the Sparky. That's game. Benzer saves the day for Chaos Theory. IMJP is not able to have that 3-0 streak, but still a very good showing on his first stage of Clash Royale League Asia.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, this is definitely Benzer's second best deck, this Goblin Giant Sparky. He really, really gets it. I think JP, you know, he had to push that top right to get that Princess Tower down, but with the P.E.K.K.A and the Ewiz available, you can really, really slow up that push, especially when it crosses onto your side of the river because your Princess Tower is down, and you can just, you know, drop it on anywhere there.
Yes, even after this moment, JP was actually coming back really hard because Benzer was pushing for that King Tower all the way until the end. Yeah, not such an easy game for either players, but a better starting hand, I would say, for Benzer. Basically had all the ones that he needed in the first starting, I would say, 5-6 cards, and got the big push. JP was willing to make that sacrifice just to chip and do about 1,500 damage with that Ram Rider onto the right. And then, okay, I lost the starting hand, but maybe it's time to come back. He got the first crown down at least.
Did JP play as P.E.K.K.A as his first card? Was that the first thing he dropped, was the P.E.K.K.A? Other than
yes,
a spell?
on the left.
Yeah, right?
On the left side behind the King Tower.
You gotta be careful with that. That's basically what happened to Benzer in that game against Pedro when he had the lava. You drop that big 7 elixir unit, and if your opponent has the right counter to it, all of a sudden you don't have the proper answers, and then Benzer has the Sparky available, which is a pretty decent counter to P.E.K.K.A if you're playing it right, and because, you know, it's 3 Sparky shots to take down a P.E.K.K.A basically, and yeah, it's pretty easy to kite that P.E.K.K.A around as well.
Now, Legend is up on stage. Really well-known. Really, really well-known player. And last season did struggle to really change his RG deck too many times. And after he actually changed up, he had so much better of a result.
Yeah.
But didn't really come out for 1v1 as much as we thought. I thought he was going to, we thought he was going to come out so many more times. But he's back. And let's see, because he's been having a lot of scrim results, and it's been pretty good for Legend.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what he has in store for us now in 1v1. We get to see him for the first time this season. Legend going up against Benzer. Kicks could win here if Legend can take this. Benzer trying to reverse sweep, bring the victory home for Chaos. He played about half of the 1v1s because remember what happened was Onion started just destroying people, King of the Hill. So like, I guess this guy's gonna play 1v1 for us.
Yes, and last season was just full of RG. I think we have it.
Yep, I think we all know what this is. And they just really like this P.E.K.K.A. And look at that, no hesitation here from Benzer. Right away countering with that Mortar, which is already locked on to that bottom right-end Princess Tower.
Yeah. Didn't even, I don't think he just predicted something like the P.E.K.K.A would be coming down. And the Horde, is that not enough to take care of everything? But the Snare certainly helping, clearing all those minions down.
Good patience here by Legend, but I think it's still going to be slight advantage. No, they're exactly equal.
Exactly.
Basically, wow, now Legend's getting a little extra damage from that Bandit.
And Yeah, Bandit just dashing away to the mortar and then dashing into the Princess Tower. And she does 160 a shot and dash, of course, double that, 320. You can't just leave her. I mean, she's only 3 elixirs, but pretty shifty. And she can certainly put out some DPS.
Nice placement there by Benzer. Getting a little extra damage there from his miner. Now he's going to have to play defense. Going to use that mortar defensively here. It's going to get 1 shot off onto that magic archer. And that's a very healthy Ram Rider.
Charges into the tower. And also the magic archer gets few of those magic arrows into the tower. Legend certainly making it really hard for Benzer, even though he has a lot of small units. It's getting taken care of by all the snares and all the great zaps that Legend has been putting out.
Yeah, this is really, really nicely done here by Legend. A little bit, it seemed like maybe an early start there for Benzer with the good order placement, but the patience from Legend paid off. He had the zap available to deal with the minion horde, and then on top with the Ram Rider snare that takes them out. So just really well planned out by him.
Benzer this time setting up defense, having the Rascal Boy going towards the other side, but ready with that Magic Archer. Zap within Snare coming down from the Ram Rider. Is it going to be taken care of before the charge? No, it does not.
Oh boy, that is a dead Princess Tower up on the top left, and now he's got problems on the right. The Bandit's gonna get a, doesn't get the dash. It isn't able to get its invulnerability in time. Get a shot from the Magic Archer though. Gonna have to try and get something going here.
Yeah, still 20 seconds. Wanted to get some splash damage onto the tower, but it doesn't. It only connects to the Dark Prince and the P.E.K.K.A. Has Miner all the way in the back, but with just the Miner and the long damage, it's not going to be enough. 6 seconds left in the game, and Kicks will be taking down Chaos Theory right now.
And impressive stuff here from Legend, able to beat Benzer at his best, playing the Mortar deck, securing the victory for Kicks, who now starts out the season 2-0. These guys look really good, G-Clef.
Against Chaos Theory, who is certainly one of the few of the top teams that's going to be standing on at the end. Well, that's what I'm expecting by the end in the standings of Group A. Kicks might be the one on top. I mean, this is a scary squad. Legend Onion, their 2v2 was pretty good. They did lose that set, but still, if they cannot lose 1v1 and King of the Hill, who is going to bring them down?
I have no idea. It's crazy. I can see maybe now why Benzer had his head down earlier. I think he might have had a lot of stress getting ready for this matchup here. So many good players to account for on this Kicks team. They're almost impossible to prepare for.
It's a big moment where Benzer brings his favorite and loses.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be painful. And Pedro was still ready after Legend if he actually lost that match. So it's going to be Kicks taking a match win again here. Going for that first place of Group A. Still too early yet, but we have a lot more matches coming up. Next is going to be Detonation Gaming versus DragonX. Stay tuned. We will be back soon. Southeast Asia dominating the other regions right now. Korea, Japan, they need to step up. This season is different from any other season, guys. Welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia. It's going to be the second match of the night, Detonation Gaming versus DragonX. What did you think about the previous match, Paper Thin? That was...
I think Kicks is pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. Holy mackerel. They are really, really strong right now. I mean, you know, the 2v2 set was very, very close. And then JP and Pedro come in there, take 4 games. Benzer is able to take 1 off of JP. And then you got Legend who comes in and finishes it off. But let's move over here now to Detonation, who had a win on day number 1.
Yes, they did. And they were the one using Hog Freeze. OGN also used it yesterday. We're seeing lots of Hoggies just bringing down the 2v2. Only from specific 2 teams. Only from Detonation, only from OGN. Maybe it's going to be just for those 2 teams. Maybe other teams will catch that up later on. And also not bad. Tempura was the one playing last time against Yukiart. A good win there. So let's see if they can continue that momentum as a squad. They also has Joker, who's supposed to be really, really strong as a 1v1 player specifically. Not yet in the roster.
Yeah, really excited to see what he's got. He's another new player here. Yeah, Hog Rider definitely a favorite in the 2v2 for them. Basically, Japan really likes Hog Rider, and everyone else kind of shies away from it. Every once in a while, you see somebody like Benzer who's good at Cycle Decks pull it out. But this is their opponent today. It is going to be DragonX. Looking very, very similar to last season, basically. So trying to find something to work. We did see True Fast and Alpha together on the 2v2 on day number 1. Are they going to stick with that? I wonder.
Yes. I remember the big tornado. Not a mistake. I mean, Alpha was saying, raising their hand at the moment, tornado not really connecting the skeleton to the King Tower. Maybe it could have helped against the Graveyard. We've seen a lot of Graveyard being banned so many times. If they're allowed once again, along with that freeze, I think they should be the one actually using it, not just trying to defend against it. It's one of the strongest 2v2 right now in the meta.
Yeah, absolutely. Graveyard is really, really challenging to deal with right now in the meta because, you know, with it, and then you throw another spell on top of it, if you're able to build up a push as well, get that Princess Tower focused on something like a Baby Dragon first, becomes really, really challenging. So, oh my goodness, it is going to be True Fast and Alpha again, and they banned the Giant Skeleton. I think that's pretty wise.
Without the Giant Skeleton, still only Tornado banned, so we can have lots of things still connecting with that. We've seen from time to time, just rise in trend, some more Goblin Barrels in 2v2.
Oh, yeah.
And especially from the Japanese team, there has been more use of Japanese teams using that Goblin Barrel in 1v1 and 2v2. So maybe tonight will be the night where we see that. We haven't seen Goblin Barrel for a long, long time. No,
it doesn't come out much. Every once in a while, somebody tries that spell bait stuff in 2v2, and it's kind of like kind of almost like a cheese deck you throw at people, but it's so much more difficult to pull off in 2v2 because there's so many spells available. It just becomes really hard.
Yeah, Goblin Barrel, Mirror, Clone onto the King Tower, and an instant win for the other side that's going to use
If it ever happens, I will lose my mind at G-Cliff. I'm just going to like get up, throw my headset across the room, storm into the arena, and start high-fiving whoever pulls it off. And hopefully I don't get fired when I do that.
I'll make sure to fill the audio while you're doing that, okay?
Yeah, okay, good. You got my back? All right. You got me? All right, bro.
All right, man. Gotcha. Tornado ban, so nothing unusual. I think that was also the ban last time from Detonation. Yes, I can confirm. And Hoggies, certainly a strong point, as you see from the most played card. What else are we really seeing from 2v2? Nothing really crazy unusual, but we're really moving away from those balloon freeze days. Like even China not really using the balloon freeze anymore, just going in straight, lots of lava, more towards lava bans, not actually using the lava at all.
Yeah.
But it's just Giant Skeleton Graveyard, that's the most common thing. We had P.E.K.K.A, Mega Knight, I think we're just stuck with those two, and then a few variations, maybe some mini P.E.K.K.As here, in there and out of there, so on.
Yeah, I mean, now that the Royal Giant is starting to fade a little bit in the meta, you're going to see the mini P.E.K.K.A fade a little bit as well, because it's one of the best counters to that. It's not so great against, it's okay against Mega Knight, but not super great. It's not that great against P.E.K.K.A. It's okay, but you were seeing a lot of it, and I think specifically because it's so good against, and also the Giant Skeleton is pretty good against as well.
So without the Giant Skeleton, you can certainly just keep on making it work. We can still just have like straight up RG. That used to work so many times. Still no changes to RG. I mean, lots of other changes, but RG stays the same.
Sparky in 2v2 when, G-Clef?
Oh,
when?
Too
Never.
many spells.
I know.
Favorite then.
I
And
know.
less of bar barrel means more zaps, more lightning. Well, let's get it going. 2v2. DragonX on top. Detonation Gaming at the bottom. Just badge and skeletons. Just quick cycles happening.
And the dual musketeers. Ooh, they're gonna try to Brit spam this Dark Goblin. Just able to get those
Are we going to
skeletons
see
down.
some clones on 2v2?
Yeah, we haven't seen it in a while. That'd be cool. You usually don't see it without Giant Skeleton available, but you can make it work with some other things. Ooh, double Mega Knight push now.
And Inferno to kind of block it, but it jumps back to the skeletons. So good timing, but the other Mega Knight is locked onto the Inferno Tower. It's going to be taken care of easily, and the Musketeer not doing any straight damage to the tower, so that was a good attack overall.
Yeah, really good defense there by DragonX, able to utilize that Inferno Tower very well. There's the Graveyard Poison, the defensive poison, excuse me, from Detonation here. Trying to get those other skeletons in there as well, but with that poison there, not much doing.
Yeah, defensive poison plus the Baby Dragon in the air. As solid as it gets against the Graveyard. Unless the freeze comes down, that's going to be the major drill. You still have the poison. So, yeah, great defense again, coming down from Detonation. Only some minor damage from the skeleton. That was about it. Let's see the real two big cards. Detonation, they have double Mega Knight, but against Inferno Tower, it's not going to work too easily.
All right, we get the offensive poison here from DragonX to clean up that Musketeer a little bit here, but now we're getting the push from the Mega Knight, and we've got the Rascals available here, and a Dark Prince to defend against the Graveyard of Detonation.
Yes, and DragonX, they got the Dark Goblin. Takes care of all the skeletons and also the Princess. So in terms of cycle and the range, I think they win overall. But so many skeletons!
There's no defense available for all those skeletons. The snowball wasn't in cycle.
And Baby Dragon was actually locked onto another target that was really far. Mega Minion pretty slow and single target. No defensive poison this time.
Wowzers, not looking good here for Hane x Hane and Pyrameki. That if that Princess is just allowed to go to town on that tower as well, doing so much damage on the bottom right.
I think they were really caught with so many spells that was forced by all the Dark Goblin and the Princess. Coming from DragonX, really trying to catch them off cycle. Defensive poison on top of the Graveyard this time from DragonX side. So still the towers above 2K. And we're down to 15 seconds now.
Detonation has no answer for the Inferno Tower. There's just nothing they can do. They can't get these Mega Knights through, and they aren't able to get the Graveyards to work as well because DragonX can just defensively poison, put a Baby Dragon over it, like you said, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both teams has freeze, though freeze was just used, but didn't even need to use it from DragonX side. I honestly did not catch exactly what the Baby Dragon was actually locked onto instead of the skeletons at the bottom left, making all the skeletons just attaching to the Princess Tower and just bringing it down in the matter of seconds here.
This is really interesting here. I think they might take a timeout. I saw the T symbol come there from Hane x Hane, and they got to think about this one because there were a couple problems going on there. A, they really didn't have, even though they should have good answers for the Graveyard and the Skeleton Barrel, they didn't really seem to. They had Snowball available. The Mega Knight can be good if you place it correctly, but I didn't even see an E-Wiz here, I don't believe, from Detonation.
Yeah, so what Detonation actually did, because there were a few units trying to come over the bridge onto the left side, just dropped the Mega Knight, and then the Baby Dragon was dropped right after, but it connected up to the skeletons that were alone, not towards the tower. So which led a lot of the other skeletons to basically do 67 damage every single time. Yeah, depends on the placement, it can get off.
Well, think about how much value that DragonX got out of that first Inferno Tower. 2 Mega Knights come down, you're able to kite them around long enough that the Inferno Tower finishes off both of them that is so much elixir gone.
Yeah, just had to drop like super small, really low elixir units right behind it. Yeah, to make sure it connects the entire time, because Inferno Tower is, of course, it goes on a little quicker than before with the update.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes down faster, but the damage output is still there. So
yes.
it's really not that much worse in my opinion. Yeah, of course it was a nerf, but I think it's getting, especially in 2v2, is pretty well in line with where it belongs. And you got to bring something to deal with it though. And I mean, in the past it's been lightning, but now I think players kind of felt like the fact that the meta had shifted away from the Inferno Tower, especially in 1v1, I think people are kind of forgetting about it, but in 2v2, still really powerful.
Yeah, 2v2, I think Lightning is a spell that you really need, unless you're going to have lots of E-Wiz and a Zap together to sort of mitigate the, for the lack of Lightning. You can still have mini stuns, or even bringing some Electro Dragon if you really want to have your great, like, big push. It does work with the Mega Knight. It's actually really good. So I think those are a few options, but having a Lightning, I think you are right on the money there. If Detonation Gaming, if they had something like that, they could actually have a really big push with the Mega Knight.
Yeah, exactly. You need something there to help you deal with all that stuff. I know it becomes difficult because of Goblin Cage. You don't want to bring the Lightning because it's not really that effective against it. But, you know, but when they're using Inferno Tower, you got to be ready for it, especially when you're running something heavy.
Yeah, no. Mega Knight's supposed to basically have the spawn damage on all the units, and then just take the shots from the Princess Tower, right? So the graveyard actually connects. But sometimes that's just not enough. Spells can certainly help you in that way. Lava Inferno pushing onto the right side, response with a few air units on the left. Is that going to be enough?
I don't think so. Doesn't quite look like it. With the Brawler there, he's able to soak up a little damage. One of those guards is going to get a poke in, and there's no real damage done to Detonation side.
This time Detonation, they bring their own Dark Goblin. That's like the key when we have this many graveyard decks in 2v2. Defensive Miner only against a Dark Prince, so Valkyrie actually getting, that's a third one onto the tower.
Yeah, 3 big spins there from the Valkyrie here. Now a decent-sized push coming on the right here for Detonation to deal with. And on the left as well. They're kind of trying to figure out how to deal with this. They're going to put a poison down
the guard.
Here. Yeah, the
guard has been hitting on it. The Magic Archer actually moved away to the Lava Hound.
Oof. That's quite a bit of damage there done by DragonX.
Yes, the third one just did not lock onto the Magic Archer. And it's got the Lava Hound, which was a little closer to the Magic Archer. That's some hard calculation to do, of course.
Yeah, most definitely. Now we're going to try another push here from Detonation with the Miner and the Skeleton Barrel coming through. A Lumberjack, good little idea there. Takes care of that Miner really quickly with that high DPS.
Dark Goblin again. Detonation, they're really trying to set up and defend well, but the Log will take care of that Dark Goblin, plus push them all back. Also do some damage to the tower. But the Lava is slowly working its way onto the right, though.
Yeah, we'll see if Detonation, this time they've got that Inferno Tower there. Try to help deal with it. That Magic Archer is in the back, already split up into the pups because of the Inferno Tower. Looks like on the right, not much damage doing. Good guard placement there on the top left as well.
Yeah, this time was well defended by both teams. As long as there's that Inferno Tower ready for that lava, DragonX really has to connect that Miner every single time. That Magic Archer right now working on everything along with those Skeletons connect.
Oh, that is a tower down here. Now DragonX has to make this push work on the right. They've got a very low Lava Hound. It's going to split up into the pups in the second, but Lumberjack's coming in here as well. It's going to get some swipes in on the tower.
Yes, with that Lightning, it's going to be a lot harder, pups. And the Miner connected to the tower. That's 1 crown down, at least for DragonX as well. Now has to go for that 2nd crown, or 3 crowns all the way for both teams. Here comes a counter attack. Let's go to sudden death.
Yeah, here we go. All right, the Miner in the back. No answer for that. Here comes the Goblin Cage to try to buy some time. I believe that's an offensive poison there from Detonation as well to get a little extra damage. Good Valkyrie placement to get that Brawler off the Magic Archer.
And keeping that Magic Archer alive might help them a lot, but because of the tower down, guards can come behind the Magic Archer and just take care of that easily.
All right, are we going to get a double Lava Hound, maybe a Lava in the pocket here from DragonX?
Waiting for that lightning timing? Maybe not this time. Certainly, it's a defensive poison and the double Lava Hound. You're correct, Paper. Then the Magic Archer is certainly working on it. A lot of units pushing through into the tower right now, though.
Oh, good miner placement. You're going to help deal with that Magic Archer, trying to buy a little bit more time. Significant damage coming here through DragonX. Looks like they are indeed going to take it.
Certainly making it work 2-0 versus Detonation Gaming. This time it looked really combined together with the teamwork. True Fast Alpha really showed what they were able to do on stage. Certainly seemed like after some miscoordination last time, yeah, they showed what they were practicing tonight.
Yeah, really nice turnaround for these two players to come back and show us a really nice performance after losing 0-2 last week. They come through, get a 2-0 for themselves this week.
Yes, Lava's still really strong. We have been just seeing a lot less of it in Asia. I think this is something else that the teams might be picking up in the coming days of the meta. Before we hit the next month patch, it might be changed. September is coming very soon, in just 2 weeks. I believe we're just going to have another balanced patch. We'll see how many cards are going to be changed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what Supercell wants to do. It's really interesting because I feel like so many cards are in really good spots. There's just a few here and there that need minor tweaks overall. And so that's what makes this so exciting, is there's so many options available, especially at 2v2.
I know someone out there named Simon is screaming for buff golems.
Oh, Simon, go home.
He's already home.
Oh, well, stay there, Simon. Don't come down to OGN. We don't want to hear any, oh, Golem needs a buff.
He's got to be coming soon for Cast, guys.
I know.
Don't worry. He will be bringing all that Golem stories for you guys to listen all night long, all season long. So do not worry. We have a Sparky guy, Expo guy, Mega Knight guy, and a Golem guy. What a great set of casters.
Yeah, we just need a Psycho player, and we're pretty much complete. We can form our casting collection there.
Well, DragonX leading for now, and that was a pretty solid 2v2. A scary thought, Lava, even without that. I thought they were holding it onto a freeze, but it was really good. The fact they had the lightning against the Inferno Tower, a great choice, of course, of spell. That's exactly what you need when you bring something heavy like that. 100%.
100%. Really nicely done there by DragonX. Really well thought out and executed by them. Now we get to see this guy, Rhea, for the first time this season. Saw him a bit last season, and he played, you know, he played pretty well. He played a lot of 1v1 for them, and he was 5-4 in his set. So, you know, and 4-3 in his King of the Hill. So he's a consistently above average 1v1 player.
Still positive records. Positive records on 1v1 set score, and also the King of the Hill game score there. Line, on the other hand, was the rising star of the team. Towards the end, he just got in as he just passed age limit of 15 and came in at like week 7, I believe. Towards the end of Season 1.
Yeah, he had 3 weeks.
Destroyed a lot of strong players.
Yeah, he beat Yukiart and Rolaporon. He lost to this guy, though. 2-0. So revenge time, possibly, for Line.
Oh, yes. And 2 days ago, he did drop 0-2. Certainly did not show too many great. Of course, a Golem choice was really surprising from Line. Maybe he'll try that once again. He's up against Rhea. Let's see what kind of cycle he's going to bring. Rhea also up on stage. For now, DragonX, they only need to escape with one more set. Detonation Gaming all about stopping that from happening. Game 1, let's go.
Thank you, Line. Oh, Rhea. So sad. All right, let's see. All right, we're just going to cycle some skeletons here for Line.
Expo.
And, yeah, possibly.
And Rhea just cycles with it. So if it's P.E.K.K.A, Rhea really needs to think right now already how he's going to output the damage.
Yeah, we saw the Expo kind of struggle the other day against a P.E.K.K.A deck, if that's indeed what Rhea has brought here. It looks pretty much like a P.E.K.K.A Battle Ram. Not 100%, but it certainly feels that way.
Yeah. Icepo from Line. And Rhea, yeah, not too bad in terms of thinking about 2 big Expo decks, the traditional with the Tesla and the Archers. that's worse to go against. I mean, for the P.E.K.K.A player, that's worse to go against. For the ice spell, not as bad, but still the tornado, if it works like perfectly, it's still pretty hard to go up against.
Yep, there you go. We're gonna get that P.E.K.K.A down here right away. Golem is there to help slow up along with that Ice Wizard, and Ewa's here to slow down the Mega Minions attack. Now we've got some skeletons in front of that Expo to buy a little more time. Yeah, really good zap.
Yeah, good zap for Rhea, for the P.E.K.K.A to actually get that last hit onto the Expo to make sure it doesn't really connect at all. Another dash into the Ice Golem, so Line certainly really just bridge spamming everything that he can, just going through the cycle.
Yeah, you can see Lion kind of shaking his head over there, trying to decide exactly how he wants to go through with this going forward.
You were really going forward there.
I was like, I wasn't in time. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty close, but I think Lion really wanted to have all the damage done to make sure Law connects to the Barbarians too.
Right. It's just a little bit of damage, just about 500 done there. No, we're gonna get the King Tower activated. Good, Tornado.
Because it's going to be, most of the chances, it's going to be the Royal Ghost doing the damage to the tower. With that King Tower activated right next to the Princess Tower, it's going to help a lot for Line. Even spending the rocket onto the Bandit, so Rhea's going to have a big push onto the left.
All right, the log is already out there, so that's going to break apart the B-Ram, splitting the P.E.K.K.A onto the right. One shot's that Ice Golem. He doesn't stand much of a chance against that big sword. Some minions coming down here, but good Tornado to keep that Ice Wiz alive a little bit longer.
Being put down, though, that was a great drag, but on top of everything else, even the skeletons and a good zap again. Has to use a Tornado once again. The Royal Ghost trying to clean up the Ice Golem, but locks onto the Ice Golem right before the Wizard.
Really nice Ice Golem placement there. Saving that Ice Wizard and saving some extra damage coming in to his Princess Tower.
Yes, Line certainly dropping everything really out, making sure the aggro works a little bit better for him to keep his units alive. Comes a defensive Expo for the first time.
Love this. Love this play by Line here, using this Expo defensively.
All pushed towards the other side, so has to bring down all that Tornado. Now the Bandit, yep, Expo gets destroyed pretty early here.
Yeah, with that poison as well there, it does kind of chew through it a bit, but now he can try for the offensive Expo here. P.E.K.K.A is available for Rhea to buy a lot of time and soak up a lot of that Expo's damage.
Wanted to block that damage with the Ice Golem, but Bandit, she's a little too fast. And when that P.E.K.K.A comes, off that poison spot, doesn't even need the skeletons.
Ooh, gets a few connections there with that Expo. Immediately wants to get aggressive here with this offensive Expo play. The Mega Minion on top of it as well, but now you've got a P.E.K.K.A here. Ice Golem's gonna buy you a little bit of time with those skeletons as well, and then the Minions coming through. Good Tornado though.
Yeah, making sure the Expo gets a few more, and the Minions are going to be taken care of, but the dash goes into the Expo directly from the Bandit. Good placement from Rhea, making sure the Expo is taken care of before everything else.
Line just needs to keep this close because he does have the rocket in the pocket. And so he can win the damage war if he times it correctly.
Yes. For the last second damage into the tower. Yes, maybe. And Rhea should be thinking about keeping it inside of his head. That could totally happen. But if there's a defensive Expo, the next one near the bridge will be really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. He's already just going to go and cycle, and he gets the Royal Ghost! Wow! Well, IQ 9,000.
Well, he knew that was going to be likely, but not 100%, you know? He gets it down.
So smart.
That's like a three-pointer from the half court. That was a big shot.
Steph Curry stuff right there.
I know.
Oh my God.
Make sure you have that on highlights on NBA 2019 there. Ice Golem again to block that dash. Yeah, limiting all the damage, but poison damage is also one thing that Line's really gotta be careful. It's going in every single time.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay, because he can keep doing this. He just now is so close to one more rocket. I think a log and a rocket does it, or not quite, but really close. Yeah, not quite.
Yeah, just Just rocket and one more log will be game over. But again, another poison. So Lion's really trying to finish this with the spell, but doesn't even need it. The numbers are pretty different here, as Expo decks are pretty strong in the meta, as you can see, if you can defend like that.
Really, really liked Lion's change up there with those defensive Expos. He knew he had enough chance to use it a few times offensively, get himself within striking distance of Rhea's Princess Towers, where he can utilize those rockets effectively. Got a ton of value with that one that got the Royal Ghost. And really, really heads up smart play from him.
Yeah, also good patience. Rhea was trying to read the cycle of line. So he had an early poison, just thinking about the possible skeletons coming down just before, so the P.E.K.K.A doesn't get a straight shot onto the Expo. And he waited for that timing, saved up at least one elixir so he doesn't at least waste it, getting a lot more poison value for the other side. Really calm this time. He looks like a different man on stage compared to 2 days ago.
Yeah, really, really calm and collected. Well placed with so many of his units. Just really, really good stuff here from Lion. Looking more like the Line we saw last season, where he, won 2 of his 3 sets and then, won a King of the Hill sweep by himself for DragonX. So really impressive stuff.
Yeah, rocket. As long as you're catching some kind of unit along with that rocket, and then defend against all the units right after, you're gonna be okay, as long as your tower doesn't really take too much damage for the sacrifice of 6 elixirs.
And you've got that Ice Wizard and the Ice Golem available to really buy you so much time that using that rocket isn't, sometimes you think, wow, it's 6 elixir, that's so much just to do 432 damage to a Princess Tower and hit another unit. And a lot of times you're only getting, like a 3 or 4 elixir unit.
Especially when you have a defensive bow set up already. That's one of the best times to just throw down the rocket. And you can always buy time with those amount of slows, amount of small units like the skeletons, and plus Tornado. There's no ban card here. So you can drag it back along with that slow to buy more time if you want to.
And oh hey, you can activate your King Tower as well.
Yeah, you already did with that Tornado. So Lion had everything set up as how he wanted in that game. Okay, with the timeout, with potential Earthquake that can be coming out from Rhea, certainly capable of let's just bring the Hoggies out. Hoggies, Hog, Earthquake. Yeah, pretty good against the Expo too.
Hogs for days.
Yeah, or you can just bring a Giant, even Giant. Golden Giant Sparky is also okay against the Expo. Whatever you think is the best counter that Rhea, I think he's certainly thinking about that's like #1. Lion can just play Expo once again if he feels like it.
Absolutely. Let's get into this. Game number 2 here. All on the line for Detonation. If Rhea loses this, they go down and lose this match, and we'll drop to 1-1. DragonX trying to turn things around early on. Get that 1-1 set up for them. The only weirdness is if you run the Sparky and they have Rocket, then you got to get weird with your Sparky placements, but going back to what you were talking about, and it might be, Goblin Cage, hey. Ooh, Royal Giant.
Royal Giant.
Like it.
Yes. Tough moment for... If you have a Tesla, it's not as bad. With the ice,
yes,
it can be tough. You have the Tornado, but you have to really get a lot of value from the Tornado. Also mini P.E.K.K.A.
Whoa. This is fascinating. That mini P.E.K.K.A here, not taking too much damage, except now there's just so many slows, but that Royal Giant got chewed apart there.
It's going to be a tougher one for Line this time, and an offensive Expo placement right there, making sure the cage takes some hit, but you got to bring something out before the Brawler.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot tougher with the Royal Giant here because it's a lot harder to get offensive Expos going. And so we'll see. I like the change up here by Rhea. Can Line adjust? We've seen it happen in the past where Expo players win against Royal Giant. It's totally doable.
It's doable, but really hard. If your Expo gets basically wasted by that RG, you're going to be losing a whole lot of elixirs all the time. So exactly how you pointed out, you got to be careful about your timing. Maybe just wait for that RG. Rhea's going to be holding on to that RG for that exact timing every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got to see what else Rhea has behind this mini P.E.K.K.A and the Royal Giant. The Goblin Cage, of course, you could substitute it in there for a lot of different stuff, including the Furnace and the Tombstone. You often see Tombstone and Tornado with the Ice Wizard in the Royal Giant decks previously. Now in the new meta, maybe Goblin Giant's more preferred here.
Yeah, with the...
Or Goblin Giant. Goblin Cage, excuse me.
Yeah, we know what you mean. Of course. Yeah, with the mini P.E.K.K.A, we've seen this yesterday, a little lighter deck of RG just to go against the Expo. Yeah, it's counters after counters, and that's how the meta basically evolves and goes around. Yeah, mini P.E.K.K.A, even though it's against the skeletons, as long as you're on the other side and if you can put out some damage, maybe connect to the tower, yeah, put out some pressure.
Yeah, the E-Dragon here from Rhea. Gonna try to get some stuns built up and some slows as well. Buy that RG as much space as it can. Now we might have to see a tornado here. No, spamming that mini P.E.K.K.A on the right with that Barbarian Barrel in front of it as well. Good tornado though.
Okay, tornado not going into mini P.E.K.K.A, but still gets taken out by the Expo. RG again tossed by the log to the side, not to the back. Got one shot off to the tower, and he was getting that chain lightning and tower damage twice.
Not bad right away, not wasting any time with that rocket is line. He's got the elixir, he might as well do it. Trying to keep ahead of Rhea in the damage war.
Down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the overtime already. Line setting up a defense. This time RG was all the way from the back, so you got to be waiting for that timing. Also having that Dragon to take care of the skeletons, but Expo already getting that mini P.E.K.K.A down.
Yep, there's the tornado fireball here from Rhea, trying to buy his RG a little more time, but it's just not enough. The cycle is too quick from Line.
The Electro Dragon actually chipping in a whole lot of damage onto the right tower too. So Rhea has a choice, but the rockets are coming down from Line every single time, and you can't really change that. So switching position to the other side, and there's that Expo again.
Yeah, really nicely done here by Line, taking advantage of the fact that Rhea's trying to set up for a push, a long push with the Royal Giant this time, and you've got the the E-Dragon available to help deal with that Expo. You've got the Ice Golem to drag it around as well, so here comes the Fireball, dragging everything in. Skeleton's there with a tornado of his own, buying some time.
Buying a whole lot of time. And RG, look at just one. As Line still has a rocket in his hand for a long, long time, just has to buy a good amount of time. 1 minute 30 to go.
Dude, that timing from Line was so nice with that Expo. Right away, knew exactly what Rhea was thinking. He was so prepared for that. And that just eliminates Rhea's push and keeps him ahead. Like all he has to do is stay ahead in the damage war.
And with that tornado, just removes any kind of damage. Line's putting in the log, just making sure he can just chip one by one. Just having the fireball, Rhea's also thinking about that, but that's not the lowest HP tower.
That's okay, you've got tornado available here. Once this RG takes that down if you need to. I don't even know if he needs to with the skeletons and the Ice Whiz. This is looking like a pretty good situation here for Line.
40 few more seconds. Rhea got few sweeps onto the top right with the Barbaro going all the way into the tower. How can he create more damage here? That's a big tornado coming down. And the rocket to finish the game. Line takes it 2-0, and DragonX. Oh, wow, even against Detonation Gaming, a 4-0.
Wow, great turnaround from them. And a big misstep here by Detonation Gaming. Just last week they were 2-0 against Talon. Played so well. This week they come in against DragonX and fall.
Yeah, DragonX really seemed like a different team. They're 2v2. Teamwork was there today. And Line played like Line from last season, actually. Yeah. So everyone from DragonX showed up on time with their mentality, with their skills. Seems really solid. Detonation, they had their moments, and RG, not a bad choice, certainly a good choice, but this Line was prepared for everything else.
Yeah, it does become challenging with RG. If they're smart with their Expo placement, they get really defensive with it, especially if you don't have something like Lightning that can really knock out that Expo and really do some significant damage to it. Even with the E-Dragon there, it's just so tough to push through because they have the tornadoes and all these other things available. The Ice Golem and the Skeletons just buy tons of time.
Yeah, it's for you to buy every other card than the Expo is for you to just buy time for the Expo. That's what the deck is all about. Well, that's it for match number 2. DragonX took the win against Detonation Gaming. Got the final match of the night. Pretty spicy here. PONOS versus Talon coming up next. Stay tuned. Season gets better every single match, every single day. Left the final match of the night, PONOS versus Talon. Who do you think is going to be taking this one?
You gotta like PONOS here. Talon really struggled against Detonation last week. We just saw Detonation get beat by DragonX, so you know it looks like maybe Talon might be a little weak. We'll see if they can turn it around. PONOS, same team. They've still got the same squad, so you know you gotta feel pretty good about their chances.
Yes, and had a really tough opponent, Chaos Theory, to begin with the opening match of the season. 0-4 game score, 0-2 a set score. Well, very tough opponent, and they got a bigger challenger coming. I mean, Kicks, they got to fight them twice at least in the season. So I think this is a must-win to grab for PONOS right here to start really going up on top of standings. Yeah, do expect some changes to come out. I mean, Riki Jones is also really good. Kota did show up in a few 1v1s or King of the Hill games too.
Rad can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, this is a full squad of a lot of 1v1 talent and also 2v2. And tonight, I think, is the night where they're really, really looking for everything to come together. Yeah, sudden music change.
Just Rad's like, please get that camera off me. Just get it off. This is an interesting lineup again here for Talon, of course. Oppa Dylan, Tattoos, Tochi, Lovach, The Rock, and Yukiart. And, you know, we saw, I believe it was The Rock and Tochi for 2v2 last week. Are they going to stick with that? Yukiart was their 1v1. Yukiart played that Giant Skeleton Witch clone deck twice in a row. First time it was really close. Second time he got absolutely brutalized.
Yeah, taking the Sparky shot. Also, Cannon Card was pretty... yeah, cool to see in that deck. The defensive use more likely. And Yukiart had one minor mistake. They cost him really big, over 1,000 damage. But maybe if he can pull it off once again, if he comes out for 1v1, could be the chance. Still a really strong lineup. I mean, Dylan can come out for 1v1 too. He had some amazing moments in the previous year too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's quite a bit of talent on this Talon roster, but they're going to have to find a way to put it together. Okay, so PONOS going to change things up from last week. Didn't like what happened getting 2-0'd across the board, so trying to mix things up, see if they can find some magic happen here. Tengod and Mikanboya going to be the 2v2.
Yeah, the duo number 2, other than Riki Jones and Rad. And when this happens, Riki Jones on that 1v1. And if you look in history, I mean, we hype up Mikanboya a lot for that 1v1 because of what he was able to do previous year, not this year. It's actually Riki Jones doing such amazing games, even in the finals of last season, and taking out a lot of tough opponents when the team was actually about to be in like first place or second place, really tough matches for them to finish. Riki Jones was actually the one like coming up with a win for the team.
Him and Rad were the heroes in the playoffs for them in Season 1, so really excited to see what he's going to bring here. This is a guy who we see a lot of times. He likes Three Musketeers. He likes the Elixir Collector, so I like to see it because he brings out stuff that we don't get to see a lot in Clash Royale League Asia. Will he continue to do that? I mean, he still plays meta stuff, of course. I mean, he's seen a ton of P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram, those kind of things from him as well.
Yeah, of course, last season, so a few RGs here and there too.
Yeah.
And Yukiart, of course, back again for that 1v1. Maybe this time is going to be his charm. Back here for PONOS, Mikanboya, Tengod. These two are the ones really liking the balloon freeze, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, these two like balloon freeze, whereas the other two, Riki Jones and Rad, were more
Golem.
Yeah, and also Hog Rider. So they were kind of all a little more spaced out. And these guys, yeah, they like freeze as well. So Poison going to be banned here by Talon, which I think is pretty interesting. But it doesn't really eliminate the use of Graveyard because freeze is still there.
Oh, yes. And PONOS always bans Tornado.
100% of the
time. 100%. So the opponent can actually just choose another card. I think that's one other thing. Okay, if you're banning Tornado all the time, we can take care of another one that you guys might have trouble with.
Yeah, exactly. I think This is going to be really interesting to see what Talon has prepared here. I mean, it is going to be a little different. Maybe they didn't expect Tengod and Mikanbuya here. But no matter what, I mean, PONOS is 2v2. It doesn't matter who you throw in there. Is so well polished. I mean, arguably the best 2v2 team in Clash Royale League Asia. I would say they are the best, at least historically.
And the Talon, their time to step up right now. The Rock, let's see, I think they have some potential. They're about to show it on stage. Of course, against a very tough opponent, Tengod Mikanbuya, the duo number 2 for PONOS. Let's see, we have the traditionals, everything else open for the Giant Skeleton Graveyard Freeze. Or are we going to see something else unusual?
Snowballs. Goblin Cage. Goblin Cage. Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon. Oh, come on.
You missed it.
Come on, PONOS.
Well, not just in time. Different starting
All
end.
right, now you do it. Wow. Troll me.
And the Lumberjack has to be using that Rage for some kind of push for Talon. They have something heavy in their hands.
Balloon could be, you know, maybe every once in a while you see an RG thrown in. Giant Skeleton is available. There's a Magic Archer there, so hard to say exactly. Just out.
Yeah, just
Couple connect.
all the way just at the edge with the Giant Skeleton. I think we know what's coming real soon. And here we go once again.
Ah, there's that freeze.
Early freeze.
Yeah, really early freeze here from PONOS. They do get a little bit of damage in there. It's a pretty healthy Giant Skeleton, but now you've got a Lumberjack coming in there, as well as a Brawler, and that's a ton of DPS between those two.
And the Brawler goes outside the range, actually, with that Rage. 2 sweeps onto the tower, that's over 500 damage.
Yeah, that's... I think that Ice Golem maybe should have come out a little bit earlier there for PONOS, and they could have avoided catastrophic damage. The baby dragon, it's going to take, you know, it's like 6 or 7 belches to get the amount of damage that you get from 2 hits from the Brawler.
Yes, so Talon certainly leading just a little bit because of that reason. And what else are you really going to put in? We see all the other cards except for the key card from Talon.
All right, we'll see exactly what Talon's got in store here. We're going to try the Graveyard once again. Guards coming down here. There's a Lumberjack in there as well. Freeze does come down, but a little bit of damage gets done. But tanky enough are the Guards and the Lumberjack to absorb quite a bit of that Skeletons.
Not bad of a freeze Graveyard combo once again from PONOS down to 1200. Talon, they're just waiting for something big. I imagine it's gotta be. And the Magic Archer still pierce shots. That's 2. And down to 1095.
Good fireball there. Really, really nice. That's going to get rid of the shield for the Dark Prince as well. Now we're going to try a Graveyard. Is there going to be a freeze? Yes, indeed. A lot is locked onto that top left tower.
Also locked onto it, and Talon, without really revealing their real secret recipe to the food here, they're not really going to cook anything. They just had everything else. Magic Archer piercing through a few shots. I mean, if PONOS, if they're pushing in that far, that quickly every single time with the cycle, can you really get your time to set up an attack?
I don't know. I'm a little perplexed here, G-Clef. I could not smell what the Rock was cooking that time. See what I did there?
Yes.
Did you ever watch wrestling?
Still get it though. Not a big.
You set me up for it. You set me up.
Not a big WWE wrestling fan. All the way going back to the days.
I was until like the end of middle school, and then I kind of fell off the bandwagon.
Oh yes. You know it's all fake, right?
Yes.
No, you're not supposed to say yes.
It's an art. It's an art.
Yes.
It's like I don't make fun of people who like it because
it's fun.
It's theatrical. It's cool. It can be really exciting.
It's through a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And training.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
Yeah. Not like Clash Royale. This is not so dangerous. At worst, you might pull a muscle in your finger.
Or drop your cell phone on your face.
Oh, yeah. While you're trying to play it. Ow.
Story of my life, man.
Slips out of your hands and you lose a match.
Or
throw a rocket in the middle of the river. You're like, well.
Or you drop it. You drop your phone on the street and you break it. Oh, that's painful. Like if someone else drops their phone on the street, like it hurts me just by looking at it and hearing the sound.
I just cringe instantly when I hear a phone drop on the ground. I'm like,
it's like Sonic losing all the coins on the ground. That's like $400 on the ground there. Well, we're ready for the second game of 2v2. Talon didn't get to really show anything in game 1.
I don't know what.
Maybe golden, maybe lava. It had to be something heavy.
Something heavy to use in front of the magic archers, right? Like,
if it was a Mega Knight, I think there were chances.
Could be.
Oh, goblin barrels.
You said you wanted it earlier.
And it's PONOS.
Yep. Here we go. This is looking very much like Spellbait.
Yeah, another, maybe even another clone in it for 2v2. Let's see what Talon's got this time.
Could be, yeah, with the flying machine and the skeleton barrel. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, activates the King Tower. Nicely done with the snowball there.
All right, a baby dragon here. That Rascal Boy is going to get a few big hits in there up on the top right.
As long as you're taking out all the spells, PONOS, they can set up a pretty good attack, but activating the King Tower was not one of their plan, though.
Yeah, no, that's not ideal. It's not exactly what you want in 2v2, but with Spellbait, it's not horrible, I guess. It's bad no matter what.
Especially when your opponent has so many spells to go against you.
Yeah.
Like the Log, Snowball, Fireball so far.
Yeah, that's a lot of spells. It's a spicy meatball. Ooh, the Magic Archer once again connecting to that bottom right-hand Princess Tower. Gets like 6 shots in, I think.
Yeah,
wow.
That's a whole lot of damage. And a good log to take care of all the skeletons from the barrel. Not bad. So Talon, they have limited amount of spells. Got to worry about the Princess, all the Goblin barrel. So all the small units just having big, long range, flying across the map.
Yeah, so these are 2 different versions of spell baity kind of things. You get the fireball bait here for Talon, and the other spell bait here for PONOS. So, who's going to come out on top so far? Slight advantage Talon, but it's darn close.
I love Dark Goblins.
They're so good.
They're so good, but weak at the same time. But if they survive, they're going to continue everything. Annoying. So it is lava all the way on the back. So forever they were not able to set up that big attack. Certainly Talon's got that going now. Lumberjack away from the tower, but the King Tower is activated, so not as much damage as we thought.
Good fireball there on the top right, but now you got a Lumberjack on the bottom left. Gets a couple of hits. Big push here. There's that clone you were thinking, G-Clef.
And with that fireball, it clicked a lot of damage. The secondary after the clone. Few pops still hitting a good amount of damage onto the tower, down to 886. That was a great snowball by PONOS to delete everything in the air.
Yeah, really good use of their spells there. It looked pretty desperate there. They're able to recover from disaster. They didn't lose the Princess Tower, but they are still in a difficult situation. There is the clone once again on the bottom right. The Inferno Tower is up. Wowzers, this is going to be a lot of damage here unless they've got some spells available.
Oh, that's great. So just put down everything basically to get all those mini ones out of the air. Double that Dark Goblin. This helps out so much when you have that many units in the air.
All right, I think this is looking pretty bad here for PONOS. Might have to regroup as we think about possibly going to game number 3. There's still a little bit of time. Good log there at the top left, wiping out that Goblin barrel. Now you've got Barbarians coming across the street, and they ain't happy.
Another lava, a few more scratches, plus that fireball, maybe pure shot from the Magic Archer might be okay. Here comes Inferno against the lava, so this one's away from the tower this time.
Okay, we can maybe kind of do it. You're getting that fireball in there. Now you're within another fireball range, so it's up to the rock. He's got to cycle into it. He's got the spell damage going for him.
Yeah, exactly. Just one more fireball away. PONOS, they need to throw everything, but there are too many spells. I mean, Talon, they're keeping the log every single time against the barrel.
Yeah.
This time trying far right side.
It's just not going to be enough. Great logs here from Talon. Fireball does cycle in, and PONOS going down in game number 2. Great change here by Talon.
Even with that many spell bait, Talon, they were trying to bait more and more spell bait with Flying Machine, Bar, and the double clone and that gigantic push. Even if you have a snowball, you can delete a few. When the pups break out and when there's the real lava still left, it's really tough for PONOS to even decide to put the, okay, it's lava, so I should put the Inferno Tower down, right?
Right.
But when there's so many units, do you really put it down?
That's one of the weird things that Clone is strangely, you know, it doesn't seem intuitive when at first glance, but when you think about it, it's like, yeah, it's actually a counter to Inferno Tower.
Yes. So that made it really tough for PONOS to actually put down that tower. That's why he was holding on to it for until like the last 20 seconds, until only the lava came down across the bridge. So Talon this time really utilizing all the clone decks.
There's that double clone.
Yeah, I mean, look at that Inferno just burns down from all the cloned units. The Princess was great. I mean, that AoE taking down all the cloned units, pretty good even without using the spell first of all. But because there were so many, how can you take care of so many?
It's so much. It's just so much. And you have to be perfectly on point with your spells, but you've got to think about, well, do I have to use my spells on the Magic Archer so he isn't getting shots in? Great placement with those Magic Archers by Talon. Consistently getting shots to land on the Princess Tower with that, so you're in a real pickle.
Yes, and that pickle's pretty sour.
Yeah,
yeah, it's been in the jar for 2 years.
These ain't sweet pickles like we get here in Korea, G-Clef.
No, it's pretty sour, and it's down to 1-1. We're gonna eat more pickles. Let's see. Straight up pickles, nothing else. No pizza.
No pizza.
No burgers. No fries.
You put pickles on pizza?
No, just as a side.
Oh, as a side.
Who puts pickles?
I don't know. That's what I thought you might be implying.
Yeah, only burgers.
Oh, okay. Ooh, Royal Hogs. All right. Yeah, we haven't seen this in a while on 2v2.
Yeah, lots of hogs. But no real, no real damage from the cage, and the guards is defending against it. Okay. Only small bats in the air, so only the beginning side, and double that size.
Whoa! There's a witch here. Fireball used as well. We've got the Lumberjack dealing with that Miner. So not a ton of damage here coming through from Talon's first 2 Royal Hog pushes. Now you've got something kind of scary with this witch. I think she's just within log range, though, if they have it to clean her up.
But Mikambuya gave some command to Tengat. Let's see what that secret word was. Didn't get to hear, but saw the action on the camera. Okay, they got the hogs, so do this. I believe that has to be one, right?
Yeah.
That's their winning key card.
Yeah. Save, maybe like save something, like an Inferno Tower or something like that for the Royal Hogs.
Or wait for my card for you to put down after. So yeah, those are the usual communication for 2v2. But this one, okay, few piercing damage going in from the Magic Archer with the Baby Dragon into the Princess Tower on the bottom left.
Oh, they're gonna try it too, but that clone didn't hit. I don't think it hit the Lava Hound.
Yeah, it didn't hit the Lava Hound, and everything else was erased with that Fireball. Not bad. It's the first clone. Yeah, drew out the Fireball, so that's an okay trade. Still got some damage with the pups after.
It's gotta get that. It's gotta get the Lava Hound. It's a bit of a mistake there from PONOS.
If they did, that could have been at least a few hundred more damage, or another spell maybe.
Yes.
Baited out.
Yes.
But this is going to be another try for them to push all the way. Got the Magic Archer all the way behind, so this one might be a little harder to push. And there's a clone.
There we go. Now you're getting some serious rage in there from that Lava Hound, the Musketeer as well. Putting down the Barbarians to help deal with this. Pups come out, they're going to get a little bit of extra damage. Baby Dragon's going to help clean up these Barbarians with the Musketeer. Now we've got the Hogs on the right. Goblin Cage down to protect against that.
Plus the Miner all the way on the back and the bottom right. Mega Minion does come, but still the Hogs do connect, so this is more than what Talon did before. And the counter push to bring that 580 down onto the top left. PONOS really wants to stress that one.
Yeah, Talon's really doing a nice job pushing this right-hand side. PONOS really has to keep the defense up here and protect that bottom right tower. It's taking more damage. Once again, a Miner really nicely placed, getting some big hits.
Every single one of those piercing shots from that Magic Archer is going to hit, but the Fireball and the Snowball with the spell damage left over. PONOS, they are going to grab the win of 2v2 for the first time in season number 2. And the command from Mr. Mikambuya has worked this time.
The Lava Clone, undefeated today. 2 in a row here.
Yeah, pretty strong when it comes down to 2v2. I like this variation. There's so many spells that you don't really expect. And Clone, you can draw out so many more spells by using a spell. That's one thing you can't really get you unless you have something like a big AoE. And when you're thinking about like big range units, Wizard, which we don't see at all in competitive.
Never.
Princess, not as much, rarely. Opponents just had it in their hands because they got the Goblin Barrel cycle.
Yeah, there just isn't, other than the Baby Dragon, a lot of that kind of AoE splash damage coming in that you see consistently in competitive Clash Royale at the highest levels. And that Wizard especially, the problem with the Wizard is it basically...
It's annoying.
Barely survives the Fireball.
It's annoying.
It's really annoying.
Fireball.
It's weak. It needs... That might be a card that could be looked at to get a slight buff in some situations.
Maybe after Executioner rework is what they called it. Maybe Wizard will be the next card.
Yeah, maybe it just needs to survive poison.
It does so well on ladder. Towards competitive, not as much. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
So do they really want to change it? It's up to them for the balance changes and the card changes.
Well, on ladder, it's easy to get it up to 13, so that makes it good in and of itself. That's why you see it a lot. Because the rare cards are much easier to get up to level 13.
And I just bring my Bandit, and then Wizard does not really do too much. The
No.
Bandit always soaks up a Fireball from the Wizard, and it's always pretty good.
Dude, I'm 2 Sparkies away from level 13 Sparky, by the way. Just,
no one
Sparky update.
No one give this guy a Sparky, okay? Make sure it doesn't happen until 2022 or something.
I'm so close,
or
man.
2222.
It's gonna happen. All right, there you go. The Fireball Snowball is going to end it here. The Royal Hogs were attempted, but, really good defense here by Mikan Boya and Ten God. Played very well. Once again, showing PONOS' power in 2v2s. They come back. Take it. Now it's on Riki Jones against Yukiart. Can he do it? 100% win against Talon. Wow. This guy's never lost to Talon. That's crazy.
Yes, and for Riki Jones, he doesn't really stick to one type of deck. He just goes around the meta and chooses. He doesn't really change that many cards, just a spell difference here and there. It keeps in cycle, but he doesn't really stick to one single deck, so it's really hard for the opponent to actually snipe and to counter his deck. So that's what makes it really tough to go against Riki Jones. And for Yukiart, it's an opposite story. He does what he wants.
Yeah, Yukiart's all over the board. Yukiart says good luck and wanted a matchup against PONOS. Well, you got it, buddy. I love Yukiart because he is always willing to try new and inventive things. That clone goblin, giant skeleton deck was quite good last week in terms of being interesting. He almost won that first game. He's a guy I think he needs to maybe think about going back to his Sparky play. He's one of the best Sparky guys we have here in Clash Royale League Asia. He's really well known for that. And the one thing I'm worried about with Riki, now that we got him back on screen, is he gets a little stubborn sometimes if he loses. And he does something where he just plays the same deck twice and just gets beat.
Look at his face. Do you think tonight's the night for that kind of stubbornness?
I hope not.
I'm not feeling it tonight. I think Riki will be Riki. Well, let's see Yugi. Second time in the season for 1v1 already. Yeah, certainly the man with lots of emotes when we begin.
Yeah, Yugi's a big fan of those. All right, Snowball, start things off, and it's a bandit here from Yugi, so definitely something a little bit different than what we saw last week. Way different.
And the regular P.E.K.K.A. Well, Riki Jones might have something similar with that Dark Prince.
Yep. Yep. Yep, he does. Yeah. All right, these two, although I believe Yukiart's P.E.K.K.A. will be able to cross that bridge, and both players just go with their E-Wizzes here, just buy a lot of time. A little extra damage from the Princess Tower now. Oh, trying to keep his P.E.K.K.A. healthy. That's nice placement there on that VRAM because it distracts the other P.E.K.K.A. with the stun reset from the E-Wiz.
Yeah, that was real nice. Also, the Princess Tower helping out Riki to get more value out of the P.E.K.K.A. If he gets the Dark Prince, that's totally worth a lot of elixir saved.
Yeah, look at how much elixir Riki Jones has there. Really, really nicely done. Good bandit timing and placement there, and really efficient from him.
Yeah, see the elixir right now. So Yukiart just knowing that takes a dash and another snowball to chip in damage to the top left.
It's kind of one of those moments where you gotta, take a little damage to reset the elixir. You know you're a little behind.
Exactly. It's not the biggest hit in the world, only 320. So Yuki was willing to make that sacrifice. So this time he gets his own on his side. But it might not be in that Princess Tower range.
Good poison here from Riki. It's going to take out that E-Wiz. I mean, the P.E.K.K.A.'s going to go down here, but again, a lot of value here for Riki out of that.
Yeah, in that range, and Tower gets one of the Zac twice, so that's actually to Zac perfectly. Magic Archer, this is about as mirror as it gets.
Now, if you saw Riki was a little upset there, that's because the shot from the Princess Tower didn't take out the shield before the Bandit Dash landed on that Dark Prince. He was a little upset about that.
Yeah, good placement of the P.E.K.K.A., so the Magic Archer does not get to hit the Princess Tower directly. But this time, starting now, it will from Yukiart's side.
Whoa! Just gonna get one there, I believe, because of the reset. Nice battle ram placement again here from Riki.
Yeah, great poison once again. Riki really on top of things, and a great Bandit in defensive mode. Yukiart also on top of things, but takes just a little too much damage because of that great poison on the left.
Riki's gonna allow that dash to go in. He's well enough ahead that it's totally okay. On the right-hand side, though, he's gonna take about the same amount of damage. So, all in all, not the end of the world for him.
This kind of mirror match, it's really tough. How you open up an angle for a Magic Archer actually determines the result. There's exactly what I've been talking about. That's 4 shots going in already, 5.
Great placement there by Riki. I mean, even though Yukiart's Magic Archer was there to try and counter, and he does get the dash on the bottom right, significant damage done here by Riki. But I like this by Yukiart. Force the issue here on the bottom right.
And E-Wiz onto the side, so the Magic Archer did not get damage directly into the tower. E-Wiz stopping that charge from going into the tower directly. But barbs are here, but this time, that's 3. 4? Did that connect?
I think it did.
Yes, I think so.
All right, E-Wiz is good enough to stop a B-Ram by himself. E-Wiz over here as well from Riki to try to back it up. Battle Ram's going to soak up any extra damage from those Barbarians as they get chewed up by the Princess Tower. And now we're going to try to get another P.E.K.K.A. push going.
Yeah, Riki's plan is to get the P.E.K.K.A. push and then get somewhat of value with the poison, so Yuki not really... You don't want to deal with that. You don't want any more chip damage coming down from the poison. You want your own offensive one on the bottom right. So let's see how they actually push across the bridge, and this is not the one that he wanted, but he's just got to do it.
Oh, that snowball pushed the battle ram forward.
Yes.
Now the Barbarian's on there. The damage coming through with the poison.
The second bar's on it.
Oh, no.
Oh, just one snowball. One minor play of that snowball drawing that B-Ram in towards that tower. It can be tough.
Really, really tough. That snowball, especially with its smaller radius now, makes it a little more tricky to use. The placement becomes that much more important.
Tough moment for Yuki. He was coming back really strong onto the bottom left. He was about to form his own attack right after this one. So just one square away from actually defending it perfectly or not. And also Riki having his own snowball at the end to push the unit away, making sure that Barbarian connects to finish the game. That was excellent. A great spell usage.
Yeah, those early efficient plays really proved to be the difference here for Riki. You know, he took an advantage early, kept it up, just was able to barely keep ahead of Yuki. Yuki really tried. I mean, this push here on the right was almost successful enough to put him within the same damage range as Riki had already done to him, but it was just a little bit short.
Yeah, Talon calls for a timeout as this may be the last life for today, as PONOS took that first set already. Riki Jones up 1-0. You gotta use the timeout for Yuki to collect something before you go into a possible last game of the night.
Sparky!
Just calling out for Sparky.
Hear it! Because he's good at it, and it's good. It's not that bad against the Battle Ram deck. You get so much damage if whatever lane they try to push, you're getting so much damage out of that Sparky. Whether you hit the Battle Ram or the P.E.K.K.A., it makes it gives you a lot of value. You can buy a lot of time if you do it right.
I heard Expo is really good in the meta against all the P.E.K.K.A.s.
And it is good against P.E.K.K.A. if you do it right, 100%.
Don't really see.
Cycle decks are pretty strong.
Yeah, don't really see any Expo decks coming down from as a region Southeast Asia. That's what it feels to me. See a lot of Motor and the other cycle, but not the Expo. Usually from the Korean side or the Japanese player side. That's a lot more likely, I would say. But it would be pretty surprising if Yukiart brings it because it's a different meta now where Expo is pretty common.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm really curious to see. Yukiart could surprise us, which is something wild. Something we aren't maybe expecting. He's got something up his sleeve. We'll see exactly what he wants to do. That's what I've always liked about Talon, is they've always been fascinating with what they come up with.
It's down 1-0. Down to last life. One more game for Riki Jones will be a PONOS victory tonight. Will he bring it for the team or Yukiart bringing something new for us tonight? Tried clone last time.
Got the angry emote there. The eye twitch. Let's see what Yukiart wants to do this time. Both players gonna wait just a little bit here. Kind of think things out. See if anybody opts to just cycle a spell or something like that. Yukiart's taking his hands off. Needs to calm down a little bit, collect himself. See if he can take this game off of Riki.
Back to golems. If you're waiting this long.
Yeah, usually when we wait this long, it's like golem or lava.
Yeah, and then we when the golems put down, we see like lumberjack and the ram rider on the other side, and it's instant win with 10 seconds left.
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay, just a minor cycle for Riki Jones. Let's see what else he's got.
Yep, there we go. That's my boy, Yukiart. You heard it. And it is the lava here from Riki, so this is a little challenging for Yukiart now. It's not ideal to have a lava floating around because the Sparky can't shoot it.
And pretty sure with the lava miner, Riki's got a zap into it. And let's see how
Guards
he defends.
is great too.
Yeah. Gets the shields out first and then gets all the Sparky shots. Certainly a few shots are connecting from the Goblin Giant, but not too much compared to the lava. What Riki Jones can do right here.
Oh boy, and the miner. And he's got a lightning available,
Ooh.
but there's just too much there. Too much.
Yeah, exactly. You put it right behind so the Princess Tower locks onto something else, not the pups. So the pups do crazy amount of DPS onto the Princess Tower. Exactly how you basically cycled through the lava miner deck. Riki Jones made it work 100%.
Yeah, this is hard. You're gonna have to get the Sparky push working if you're Yukiart. You're gonna have to find some way to basically 3-crown Riki before Riki can take your second Princess Tower on the right here. The good news is the damage output is slow from the Lava Hound deck in a way compared to what the potential is, but you gotta keep that Sparky alive somehow. Nope.
Oh, great fireball coming down from Riki Jones saying the same. You are not going to get that far. You can get some damage, but not from the Sparky for sure.
Yeah, the Brawler's there, and that does so much damage to the Goblin Giant. Here comes the Pocket Lava. Trying to buy some time here is Yukiart, but looks like Riki had a good read on what Yugi might be thinking here.
Had some waits, but down to the 14 seconds. I think we're going for that 3-crown with this many units on the King Tower. Riki Jones, 3-crown with style, going to have 2-0 against Yukiart, and the first win for PONOS this season.
Yeah, and like you said at the beginning, this was a big, much-needed win for them because they're going to have to go up against Kicks again. Don't want to start the season 0-3. Really, really good stuff from them, showing that they are still a force to be reckoned with in Clash Royale League Asia.
Yeah, especially Riki Jones.
Yes.
He is the man that comes out when the team is really in a dip. They need to really climb up and get out of somewhere. And Riki Jones comes out all the time and saves the team. I think he can actually be... He's already the ace player for the team. Mikambuya really suffering this year, so Riki Jones might be sticking on to 1v1 in the future too.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's starting to really look like he's the best 1v1 player PONOS has consistently.
Yes.
You know, Rad has shown moments of brilliance. You know, you can always rely on Mikambuya if it goes to the King of the Hill, but really, I think Riki needs to be their number one 1v1 player.
Yes, here comes the result. Kicks, big win against Chaos Theory. They showed what they can do in King of the Hill. One of the scariest King of the Hill you will ever see. And maybe every single time, from Kicks. That's still scary what we have just seen.
It's ridiculous.
And of course, DragonX grabs another win, and also PONOS. So here's the updated standings. Kicks the only one with that 2-match win. Ooh, already on top with +3 match, +6 games up.
Jeez, that's brutal. That's really brutal. +7 in their games already. That's so good. After 2, ugh. Oh my God, they're just. It's so scary to watch them. I can't wait to see how they, how they play the rest of the season. Will these teams be able to adjust? Talon, I think, they got to find a way to kind of turn it around here. Find a way to get consistent on 2v2 and 1v1. I mean, you got a lot of new players on the team. You lost a lot of your veterans that had been there for a while, like Master Hong and Shake and SB. So it is a new roster for them. So it's going to take a while for them to get together and really gel.
Yes, and they got to do that as soon as possible. Comes the next matchup. Of course, next week we only have Thursday. We do not have Saturday, Sunday. We come back the week after. That's why we have 2 Thursdays in a row. Next match, of course, we're just going to be going back and forth. Group B, Group A, Group B, Group A. Look at that. OJ Nantus, who showed really great performance last night against Brain Esports. That's going to be a fun matchup. And also GameWith versus Sandbox Gaming. Sandbox, they got Ice Law. And he's slowing some people here.
We're seeing a lot of new talent start to come into the Clash Royale League. Asia really bolstering an already strong region. Really exciting stuff here. I just love watching this. Kicks especially has definitely got my attention this season.
The Thursday after, PONOS versus Kicks.
I know. So ready for that. Just gonna be so good.
That you gotta wait a week. I mean,
I know.
I can't wait till September, man.
I know.
I'm skipping through, but lots of great matches going to happen throughout. And the best part, we get to see that matchup twice a season.
I know. It's going to be so good. Both of those teams are so strong. I mean, PONOS, a lot of veteran presence, strong players top to bottom as well. Can't wait to see that.
Yep.
And put me in a cryo chamber sleeping bed and wake me up. Well, wake me up on Thursday and then put me back and wake me up the next Thursday. That works. I'm okay with that.
It's not winter time yet.
I like winter. You know that.
Oh, yes, I know. You're from Wisconsin. Yeah. And OPGG, if Expo Master wakes up, I think it's about time, but still he's not getting out from his bed.
Yeah, man, he's in the cryo chamber as well, dude. We need to wake him up. Because I want to see Expo Master come back and just start wrecking people.
Yeah, if he does, that's going to be the big difference maker in Group B. I think that's going to be the real story. Other teams are, of course, there's lots of exciting matches happening. And the fact that we can continue these kind of stories because they stay within the groups this season, it's kind of cool how we have this change.
It makes it a little easier for us as casters as well.
Yeah, for us to prepare too.
But okay, like it does make it really interesting because it's so important inside of your groups now, and that's all you get.
Yeah, and that's all you get for tonight. That's those Group A. And we do have Group B coming up in just a few days, not too long till Thursday. See you guys after more Clash Royale League Asia coming very soon in just 4 days, 5 days.